gift. My wife gifted this to me as a surprise. This is in my room. I came back from casting and here it was.
That's awesome.
This is a chaplain, so traditional Kazakh wear. And I am in the mood here for this third place match. The energy is popping off at the moment, and this really is set up, I think, to be an incredible matchup between these two teams fighting for third. Maybe Aurora wouldn't want to be fighting for third, but this is the place that they find themselves in with Astralis' amazing performance yesterday.
Yeah, I'm so curious about the mental aspect of it for that reason. Can Aurora summon the strength to get back in here and fight for what really matters right now for them? Third and fourth, it is not at all the same here. And you never know what's going to happen down the stretch of it with the VRS points and everything else. You must fight hard for this game, and I bet they will. Already a setup here from Woxic, but yeah, he's got some teammate with him right in front. Jota is there underneath. A double setup, and they get the first headshot. Woxic ducking and diving behind the pillar at the A side, but Jota's gone down. It's just Woxic in the flash. He can't see a thing. Yuri takes him down and continues to fight onto the site. As Wakadia swings in here with the duel. He's trying to find whatever he can. The late lurk is coming through, and Centaurus barely getting the kill on MongolZ, but it might not be enough. Wakadia alone versus 3.
Straightforward round from FURIA. Wakadia, can he get anything extra? He had an absolute banger of a Mirage yesterday against Astralis, just really kicking things into high gear. We'll have to see if he can do that here today. Obviously, pistol going to FURIA, keeping it nice and simple, as I think, you know, you often like to see on a T side. And that money is secured, and that's dangerous here, Anders, because we know how bad it can get if the T side gets that early momentum. So immediately some danger here for Aurora.
Yeah, it immediately brings up my favorite complaint about picking the map to begin with, so...
All right, give it to us, Anders.
I feel right how much, you know, it's the most treacherous map there is. It's not really losing the pistol, it's losing the first rifle round. If that happens, I think that's where Aurora can start to be a little bit uncomfortable. But they have bought 5 MP9s. This is the sort of stuff that I might call in a matchmaking game. It doesn't mean it can't work. They might be a little bit better than I am with the MP9, to be honest, so we'll see if it plays out. FURIA are a team on this map that do really like those mid-splits, which I think is nice. It's a good thing that they're able to throw some of those in there. It makes the game harder to read, really, for Aurora. And so far, fairly chilled out. Just ready and waiting to see if there is going to be a bit of aggression. And it looks like eventually there will be this 3-man squad coming through the middle. Maybe they can find a kill.
Fallen's investigating. The conductor, as Dust called him, is going to get a knock to the head. Centaurus will announce his presence. Now they know 100% there's MP9s on the board. FURIA trying to make their way into that B site. That's a great find there in E-Box from Yakindar, trying to open up some space for the team towards this B site. Bomb will be collected as we get that fight towards the other side of the map here. FURIA, they need to try to find their way onto this bomb site, but it seems so labored. Finally, though, Yuri able to take one down to get that space, to get that plant. But Woxic there with that kill in mid makes this a doable retake.
I know this is going to seem like the most self-congratulatory statement of all time, but the Molotov that Yuri just threw from outside of the B bomb site is one that I spent maybe 8 hours trying to find down, and they actually did it to burn out that position, because normally you can't throw it that deep. If we can ever find a replay of that, I would be so excited. That is so sick to see. I can't believe they've actually thrown that in there. MongolZ ends up going down 2 versus 2 now. The retake is on. And Woxic trying to go for it here, but no kit in his back pocket. He runs into the bullet. Yuri with a nice triple and a huge conversion here as FURIA. They were in trouble at the start of this round. They could have ended up losing it, but they hold on to it. They survive the MP9s. And the early buy now also means that, you know, the Turkish side is going to be in a bit of a weird state. It's going to be a while before they actually can put together a real buy. Look at this Molotov. It burns so deep into the corner. Normally, you have to throw that from your Kindar's position instead, but bouncing it off the wall like that instead, or in fact, you know, basically throwing it into the ceiling and it bounces back down.
Although that was scary for FURIA, at least they do get rid of the MP9s as opposed to having some saved into this round. So with that said, Centaurus did cause problems yesterday with the 5-7. I saw some interesting memes on the subreddit about that. But FURIA, going to see if they can find their way through middle here. Flawn very, that's Very careful though, the 5-7's back out from Xantares. You almost saw it happening. But it's all going to calm down. 4v4. FURIA trying to make some space towards A. They don't have the bomb, so this is really a fact-finding mission. Kazahstan's in trouble now.
Yeah, I was getting scared there as well. WotC will get one, but I was having flashbacks as well. Xantares, he did do some fantastic work. It's on Mirage over at the B bomb side. If you missed it yesterday, it was pretty sick. Jota here with a deagle. Honestly, kind of a winnable 1v3. Some of them are solo on health that, you know, just one good kill to begin with. You never know what's going to happen. This is the first shot, and I think you almost have to hit that. Nicely done from Yuri. He's shown up to this one. Another triple. He's 8-0 right now. FURIA getting the first couple of rounds, and actually Aurora can buy in this one. Very interested to see how they will play this one. Especially what I'm looking for Aurora here is one particular smoke that they throw from CT spawn. And very often, well, it looks like they might do it, no, maybe not. If they do it, it lands on the stairs outside of the A bomb site. Almost always when they do that, it results in a 3B, 1 middle, 1 A stack early on. It's such a common thing, and I think almost at this point too readable. So I wouldn't be surprised if more and more teams will start to sort of pick up on that fact. I'll call it out if we see it at some point.
WotC has become a different player in the playoffs. In the arena, his performances have been immaculate every series. He is on the wrong side of the action, though. The Evox take coming on through. They're creeping up onto Major. I can't actually get anything there. Jota with the smoke, but it's just too late. And the B side's been taken. The slow creep, the contact in. Devastating reality, and I don't think Aurora can retake this. 5 players still up. So much post-plant utility. There is just no world in which they can go for it.
This is how Anubis betrays you.
There we go. Anders, wait a second. Okay, here's the soapbox. Okay,
yeah.
There you go.
Thank you, Dan.
Stand on the soapbox. I'm ready.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I do need like a pulpit from which to, you know, do my sermon about. Stop picking. No, you know what? It's obviously Aurora have the track record to prove that picking Anubis is not a bad thing for them. They're really good on the map. I've just seen this so many times. It's not over yet. Again, I don't want to get too panicked, but losing some of these rounds, it can be really devastating. I will say this. It's a good job that they managed to save the rifles and the AWP, because it does mean that they have the potential to be way more dangerous in the next rounds. And that's, you know, borrowing from James and his philosophy of Counter-Strike, it is probably a way to make the CT side of Anubis stronger, is if you just always have some rifles in play somewhere on the map.
One extra wrinkle to all of this as well, though, is that from what we've seen this tournament from FURIA, they have actually had one of the best CT sides I think I've seen on this map. So
yeah,
we'll see how that plays out when we get there, but it's not all about this T side.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a miss and a half there from WotC. Absolutely punished by MongolZ.
It's a huge miss. It's also very interesting that MongolZ goes for the peak at all, because whenever WotC is playing in the middle with the AWP like that, it's almost always the case that there's no smoke or Molotov thrown. Normally it's Xantares alone in here from Aurora on the CT side, and he will throw early smokes and Molotovs to stop anyone from getting those kind of peaks in there. Oh no! So Arcadia going down next here. They're falling off a bit of a ledge right now, Aurora. 3 versus 5, and another good opportunity right now, I think, for Aurora to just stack a site and hope.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in being stretched out across the map right now.
Yes. Arcadia going for the hero information play, but it's kind of binary. Either it works or it doesn't, and in this case, just protects the AWP in Xantares' hands now, and easy move for FURIA onto the B sides.
The Molotov that was thrown there that we just saw Yakinda was looking at, that's the normal kind of Molotov that you can throw to try and do a little bit of, you know, a little bit of pressure onto that connector position. If they throw the other one again, I'm so curious if Aurora will react. Now, I know that Aurora do know how to throw that Molotov themselves, because I messaged Madger about it.
The hunt is on, by the way.
Yeah, they're going for it.
This could be disastrous for Aurora.
They should. Why not?
Madger protects one entrance, but there's just a slow creep from all sides. You got Kazahstan also coming from long. It's being held with the AWP from Xantares. He can't afford to miss that shot. There goes one more rifle. Now the pressure's on. Oh, and now turning the back from that long position. 2 players coming. Can Xantares get both of them? Xantares, the AWP, question mark. Here he goes. Keeping the AWP alive for the side.
Oh, they might give over an AK to Madger as well. I mean, listen, I'm ready for it. Maybe that's how he gets himself warmed up into the game, which, by the way, has been a real problem for Centaurus in some of these maps, right? We've seen from him in the playoffs so far is that he's had a couple of really great ones, but there's been some where he's been slow out the gates, and you've got a player like that on your team. You want more than what he's been giving so far.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. Like, this is it feels so bad when you don't get a good opening on the CT side. It just kind of ends around. There's a bunch of maps where that's not the case necessarily. There's often ways to fight for the round still, but to the credit of FURIA too, there's a reason why they left Anubis open. They know how to convert the advantages just as well.
5-0. Still keeping the buy going. They're not being fully reset here, and that is at least something. Yeah, but do pay attention to the lack of smoke in the middle in that previous round. You see MongolZ, very good kills, but honestly, he should have died to Woxic. And like I said, it's such a risky peak for him to take. Centaurus, all right. Whatever.
Okay. We'll see if there could be a better start here for Aurora. 3-2 split on the map. Woxic on that B site. Switch up in position. He's played 3 different spots with the AWP so far. And it's just a great read from Fallen. He's finding nothing here in mid. This could be a problem. Aurora have given this position. And Fallen's going to probably understand what setup is likely to be on the other end if mid is for free like this, Anders.
Yeah, they really like the mid-splits, FURIA, like we said at the start. Smoke goes up because otherwise it was being held by Centaurus. Now he's got this deep flank. 3 people on the B bomb side, but they are so close to losing this one. Jota basically throwing grenades. They're walking out main at the moment. Easy spray down for Fallen. And even if he gets traded, it doesn't matter. Jota is in a lot of trouble right now. He shouldn't be able to stay alive, and he won't be. Yuri finds him for an 11-1 scoreline, and you can see Wakadia and Centaurus can't even rotate across the map. It's not even worth it for them to give it a shot. So 6-0 for FURIA. Great map control.
I mean, such a sick punish from Fallen. Just understanding that, hey, I feel like there's a chance, a pretty solid chance I can actually walk into mid. And I'm sure there are some tells, so it kind of allows him to intuitively understand, hey, this feels like a good play right now. Then he understands once he gets out there that because there's nothing there, they have to be playing, some of these types of setups, realizes what he can do off of that, and is crippling. Aurora had no sense of it. Yeah. And that's, I mean, if you're getting backstabbed like that, and you can see that Woxic had no idea, just the feeling for Aurora, it's just, I mean, so crippling, Anders. I don't think I can really emphasize it enough when you feel like you cannot do anything. But that's where they are.
I think also because it's so early in the round, the guess that Centaurus was going to be on the A side of the map instead of the B one is a really good one. A little bit later on, like 20 seconds later, I think it would be a lot harder for Fallen to make that guess, and they would have had a harder time figuring out, do we smoke, towards A or B in the middle? But I think because it's so early, he should know if Centaurus is not in middle, it means he's playing early A with somebody else. He's not going to be playing early B because that's not his role, basically. That's going to be somebody else. It'll probably be, Woxic, who's maybe switching around there. Wakadia is going to be playing that extremity on the A-bomb side every single time. So, all right, here we go. Another risk being taken, but it's a great one. What an entry. Yakandar comes in and he takes down Matrin again. The round is, 85% won here. About to be a 7th for FURIA. And Aurora got to be really careful here. They don't have a lot of money. They have the round loss bonus, but if they lose the rifles right now, it actually is a big problem.
But they must be feeling, we can't just give up all these rounds. We have to fight for something at this point. And they're moving forward, but it's just impossible. This wall is this connection between the 2 walls. The smoke, it's just so hard to get out into the site. Centaurus with the smoke kill, but still much more work to be done. Wakadia, though, getting some of that work done. And now, the smoke down on the choke point. Both T's locked out. They have to play beyond the smoke. They have to spray. This is starting to feel a little desperate. There is a kit here on Wakadia. Is he going to be able to get onto that bomb, start the pressure?
No.
HE, that's just not enough time. Just not enough time here for Aurora. Heartbreak yet again. And you have to praise FURIA. The contact entry, the timing was unexpected, and Yakindar's been insane on these entries this tournament.
At the beginning of that 4v3, FURIA had 4 Molotovs. The only smoke that Aurora had, they used to block off main, which meant in the afterplant, FURIA could just keep on throwing Molotovs. There's nothing they could have done about it. If they had another smoke, then that's a very, very winnable round in the 2v2. But just the Molotovs being landed over and over again to stop Aurora from ever getting the defuse. Otherwise, it's actually a really solid attempt at a retake. But they just couldn't deal with it. Well, here we go. MongolZ setting up and hoping that there was going to be an early peek there. They're in so much trouble right now. FURIA rocking Aurora on their home map, the map they always expect to win. Wakadia tries to go for the spray up close, but he gets shut down. It's Kazahstan on the hunt, and they're going to Molotov and smoke off WotXik here, just put him out of the round. Bomb plant is going to be following through, and the rotation is slowly happening, but they're just now outside of the B-bomb side. Now they've realized, okay, and the question is, do you just go for it anyway? Even if this is not good, I think that answers the question. Centaurus goes down, and they're going to try and save again.
Yeah, nothing you can do. Oh, MongolZ will die, but so much money, it's not really an issue. And yeah, you know, the calling here from FURIA is so excellent because Aurora, it feels so difficult to take a risk. And it's such a great way to punish that type of playstyle when FURIA are now just finding fast timings and just gambling. Because they can. They got such a lead now, they can start to really gamble with it a bit. Imagine if Aurora had multiple players on the setup, they started 3 on 8. This is variations of like setups at the start that could have allowed Aurora to have a really good defense there, but getting unlucky. It's just, again, it's credit to FURIA's calling here on how to select these rounds and the mental battle for Aurora. I mean, they know that this can be what Anubis is like, but still, it doesn't make it any better, really.
No, it unfortunately doesn't. And also, just like the difference in how these strats are playing out, there are some slower styles in here. You saw the walk through middle for Fallen, but there's also just some of the risk-taking at the right time where they just walk onto a site and nobody's ready for it on the Aurora side. It's such a great combination of different paces here, making it very, very hard for Aurora to keep up. What if they got double AWP? So maybe that's an answer for the CT side. If they get 4 rounds, then I'll say they're kind of competitive once again. They're back in the game.
One thing that FURIA do on the CT side that they do really well is they get these E-box aggressions with their AWP on the CT side. And I don't think that's something that we've seen from Aurora on their CT side. We've seen WotXik in the B side, but we're not seeing any pushing or testing of the E-box position. And he is starting over towards the A side alone.
Yeah. See this early smoke in the middle that was thrown up? This time it was from Wakadia. But there's such a clear indication that there's probably not going to be an AWP. You can throw it for a fake. It's happened in the past, but it's very likely that there's a single player in there who's just trying to stop it, and Fallen really wants to test that proposition out. The double op setup does make things really interesting. WotXik, when he has the AWP, is not normally playing here at all. He's going to be playing the B connector whenever he has the AWP, more or less. Sometimes the middle with Centaurus, but because it's doubled up, he's in this forward position, and they're running for the flames. Flashbang is nearly perfect. The second one will be. Wakadia is there to hold on and save his sniper in front. That's some very important kills for Wakadia that might just give the Turkish team an actual round on the board here. Fallen gets caught by WotXik, trying to sneak through. MongolZ, only his 4th kill here, but this is a lot to ask for. He's got 50 seconds. Madja waiting for him. All right. Does see just the shadow of him running away. You don't want to see Aurora throw this round away. Just take a deep breath. There's nothing that MongolZ can do to win this, but you could do something to lose it.
Yeah, and them FURIA have so much money, so they're so safe for the buys. Oh, MongolZ! Oh, he actually gets the shot, but it's a leg shot, of course. So an integrity of rifles is retained at the end of the round. That would have been a disaster if they would have lost a couple to that AWP, but there we go, Aurora. And they only started out with WotXik on the A side, so they had to make a read there for the rotation, get players in position for this defense. So, good calling there, good read from Aurora.
Double AWP stays intact. And a bit of a slower start to this one for FURIA. You can see more of a default. They're expecting a push outside of the B-bomb site, so they're waiting for that to happen. It's a good pitch for it as well. could see that MIBR is already playing in front of the smoke that was thrown in from FURIA. So he's hoping that someone's going to take a walk around the corner and not even check anything. But some mid-controlled grenades are coming out. It's pretty classic stuff. Molotov to clear out the front part of middle. Kazahstan. Oh! What is that?
What a flick. Oh, man. Oh, and there's a minute to go. That's such a sick kill to find. And so, now, Aurora, there's a little pressure. Do they try to just play passive, or do they try to... Okay, we're seeing... Okay, I thought that we would have had Xantares joining up on the B site there for somewhat of a stack, but maintaining this setup around MIBR. He's got to connect this. He does. Yikinda goes down. There's one more. MIBR around the corner with the AWP. And suddenly, Aurora, they're in good shape here. There's 30 seconds left, and the bomb's down, and so is Kazahstan, and with it, the chances for FURIA in this round.
We've had Xantares AWPing, now we've got MIBR AWPing. Why the hell not, Dan? Yuri and MongolZ, I don't unfortunately think there's a way to recover it. So they have a lot of money still on their side, or at least enough money to make it interesting. But saving the rifles is a good idea, because some of them are a little bit low. You can fall at 750 there, so just leave it alone for now. Second round on the board. This is the truth, though. If Aurora get up to 4 rounds, they can still win this map. And they know it too. And FURIA probably know it as well. So even if it just looks completely hopeless, it just isn't. And
yeah.
I'd be very excited to see FURIA try to close out the game with this kind of a lead, because it's a challenge nonetheless. You know, you gotta summon all the focus here. Try and find that third place here in PGL Astana. Timeout call for FURIA. I think it's a good time for it.
It certainly is. Yeah, you definitely want to... You want to just crush Aurora here, and because also, like you're saying, there's so much variance when you get to the pistol round, because the pistol round, just as FURIA won it here, can give you such a string of wins, and so that goes both ways on a map like this. And so you want to have just like a 10-2 would be sick, because then you're really feeling safe, even if you lose the pistol. And what a great series of kills there from MIBR.
Exactly what happened there is why they should have thrown the other Molotov that they know how to throw, because that would have landed right on top of MIBR and it would have forced him into the fight in the middle. So that would have been really fun to see. Early smoke in the middle. Again, it's not 100%, but it's a very, very good indication that there's not going to be an immediate AWP waiting for you in there. Flashed out. I love the idea. But unfortunately, reality is going to be betraying Ricardia here. And he ends up getting dropped a little bit earlier than he was expecting. 4 versus 5.
And you like to see that pace is slowed right down for FURIA. Again, always keeping Aurora guessing. Perhaps suggesting that mid-take with some of that utility there. So Aurora having to try to make sense of this util. Now E-Box feels under extreme pressure. That's taken away. That feels so threatening, but is it going to be a B play? It's hard for Aurora to absolutely know. Are they going to make a play back in here to absolutely find out? Looks like they might be trying to do so. There's that incendiary, but Yikinda holds his ground. Xantares with the trade. And the bomb now, 40 seconds left, is rotating back towards mid.
Yeah.
Sight.
Oh, that is a huge opportunity. You're absolutely right, though. The rest of the team are rotating off the expectation that Kazahstan was going to be able to find that opening, but he gets taken out instead. Xantares now inside of the smoke. Oh, he comes right out. I thought he was going to hide in it, but Fallen takes him down, and they're back towards the B-bomb site here. MIBR, we've seen him mopping once. Could he do it again? He's ready with a shot, pulls out the pistol, and clips Fallen. The headshot is immediate. Grenade down on top of MongolZ, trying to peek it out. MIBR jumping in panic. 9 seconds left on the clock, and he's just playing ring around the rosy. It's such a good play. The no-scope is in, but the time is out. He cannot plant the bomb here. MIBR, back-to-back rounds to get Aurora back into the game. 3 on the board now. They need a 4th.
Yo, MIBR, what is his morning routine? I need that TikTok video right now. Send it. Send it to me. Okay, this is a brilliant round from him. Really delivering these key moments. That run out from Xantares seemed very haphazard, but there is just enough time, I think, if he pulls out the ball. I feel like it's like milliseconds, maybe.
It might have been.
Because he only 3.5 seconds. Anyway.
Here's that early setup. That's the early smoke I was talking about. That almost always means 3 on B early on here. It's thrown from Aurora in CT spawn. And let's see if FURIA have a bit of a read on this. So far, just trying to do a little bit of pressure onto Connector. Compared to other top teams, FURIA do love this B split through Connector more than most teams, which in itself is kind of interesting. Okay, so they're putting some pressure on the A bomb site. I think that's to try and rotate one of these people away. See if they can manage to do that. So far, Aurora pretty locked into it. Deep flashbang here, but MongolZ in front of it already. Woxit goes down, and I think they've had a bit of an encounter with Xantares as well. MIBR sets up another smoke for it. 50 seconds on the clock. It looks like they're pretty committed to this, but they are starting to walk their way through middle as well, FURIA. So getting into a better position, and look at the counter rotation for Aurora. They've picked the worst possible time here, Dan.
Yeah, it's actually starting to look a little scary. But into this B site, MIBR trying to defend again from backside. It's going to be very hard, though. This split's looking really well coordinated, very well timed. These pistols will be rolling on into the site. Kazahstan pulling up with the Tech 9. And there goes the bomb plant. But this is a round you have to fight for. It's the final 1.5. 3 versus 4 retake for Aurora.
Yeah, it won't be easy at all. Kazahstan already in a good position right now. They're out of grenades though on the T side, so that might be one thing. But a couple of flashes on Aurora, is it really enough to get anything done? First push is in. Tech 9 up close. It's a nice kill for Xantares, but it's just not enough. Yuri with a crazy first half. 13 and 4 on him. And 9 rounds in total for the FURIA side. I must say it's a very, very impressive scoreline to end up with here. It's Aurora's home map. We know how good they could be on it, but they couldn't get more than 3.
It's 3. It's doable. It's workable.
It is. I mean,
it's workable.
You know, I agree. It is workable. I do unfortunately think 3 is at the point where winning the pistol is so critical.
Yes. It does feel desperate. And think about these 3 rounds too. It didn't feel as though Aurora really solved the CT side at all. It did require some individual plays. There was one really good read in defense on the A site, but other than that, we had MIBR really stepping up to deliver the most important clutch kills. So desperate first half, but this is where I think the series obviously could start to change depending on the execution of the pistol. The variance of the pistol.
Yeah, I'm so curious. I think some of the early utility from Aurora on the pistol round here will probably give us a big indication of what is going to happen early on. Let's see what they get. Smoke, HE flashbang. Not as much as I was hoping for, so let's just see how this one plays out. MIBR is going to be setting up the smoke already. That's towards the B bomb site, so a bit of a lurk smoke to try and see if they can put some pressure on, but Yuri's already in front, so he's got great information. That actually doesn't seem like a lot, but he just realized there's nobody outside the B site. Flashed in, and Xantares gets 1, but still, the return is there. There is a big stack towards the A side of the map, and I think Aurora know, and they're going to dive into the middle and back towards Yuri.
Yuri is alone. He's got the dualies. There's potential for Yuri. Oh, can't quite get it done, though, but the trade's in for Aurora. Kazahstan gives the advantage in the man-up situation now in a 3v2 for FURIA, but it's a retake, and the E-box push comes in from Aurora looking for the info. Kazahstan! That is so precise. Surgical strike at distance, and now Jota has 3 angles to try to juggle, but it's impossible. MongolZ in with a quick one, and the worst has happened here, Anders. The pistol's been lost.
Disastrous. There's no other way to describe it. Sick round from Kazahstan, but the early flashbang out to stop Xantares, and then even if actually the call there in the middle of the round for Aurora was a great one, they correctly assessed that there was a lot of people. The way that the flash is thrown here, so I think Xantares sees 2 people. He knows a 3rd player has to have thrown the flashbang, so he pretty much knows that there's at least 3 people on the A bomb site. We knew there were 4, but either way, they were going to have an isolated fight over at the B bomb site here, and it was against Yuri. And even if he got a kill, it just wasn't enough. So bomb got planted. That's sort of half the battle won. It means Aurora will buy very early on here. AK on Xantares. He's got 10 kills. We need to see more out of him. This is the round where he has to step it up. This is the round where he could really remedy the whole map for his team.
And it's interesting, we actually see FURIA deciding to take the timeout. And we've talked about this as well in the past, where you're up a lot of rounds. Sometimes taking the time out, even if you're winning, can be kind of nice just to keep everybody on track. Because one of the things that actually happens, and this is just natural human psychology, when you're really ahead, that is sometimes where the mistakes become the most likely. So getting everyone dialed in and focused on the task at hand and how you want to play, set the mental, is important to make sure you don't slip up.
Same setup for FURIA. They throw the same smoke from CT spawn and go 3 towards B. Xantares boosted up. And I think the reason he is, because there was no smoke that he was looking over, I think he's worried about the idea that there could be, an early sniper in the middle or something. Again, it's so weird that there are no smokes here that I think it had them in a bit of a weird mind state. Nice smoke towards the B side of middle. They do love the A-bomb site, Aurora, especially going straight in from main. Okay, Fallen caught in an awkward moment, grenade in hand. He gets taken down. Kazahstan now, the last line of defense inside of A. It's going to be good for the first one, but he's running out of bullets, trying to reload, and actually Yakinda shows up just when he needed to. Very nearly saves the day. Another second there, and Kazahstan would have had a chance to answer back with the reload, but it will be a bomb plant. And Aurora, this early buy works out for them, and I mean, this map could go any which way now. This would be very fun.
Yeah. Such a good support from Jota, picking up that Galil from Xantares. He got blinded at just the wrong moment after that entry against Fallen. And, I think we're in that situation. Aurora, they don't want to give up their guns. They're pretty content with allowing the save from FURIA. And indeed, we'll get to see some interesting stuff because I sort of mentioned it earlier already. FURIA has some really cool aggressions and play around the E-box position to get active with the AWP from MongolZ on the CT side. So that's something I'm going to be looking out for. But at the same token, that is something that I'm certain that Aurora will be aware of. But one of the reasons why it's cool from FURIA is because they kind of understand the layers. So if you're trying to play against it, what are the ways that you'll do that? What is the util they need to support it? It's not just an AWP peeking with rifle support. They really get it.
Could be the beginning of a massive comeback for the Turkish side, or it could just all be a bit of a dream that gets, burst earlier than they would like here. Pushing in. AWP looking to take a fight, and also guarding Yakinda, who's now pushing very deep towards this, but they are kind of ready for it. And smart play, I think, for him to set up like this. He's going to call in Fallen to help him cover the window. So I like everything about this right now, but if Aurora just goes straight for the A-bomb side, which again, they really do love to do. They like that straight A main play. And it's partly because they have a couple of players that are so confident in taking those fights. And I think a big question for the second half here is going to be whether or not Kazahstan knows and whether or not he wants to just fight them, or if he's going to play a way more passive game where he's going to just use utility to slow them down. So something to look for. What kind of mood is Kazahstan in? All right, Yakinda gets the first one, very nearly takes down Woxic. That would have been scary.
And unfortunately, MongolZ had already repositioned, so couldn't play off that initial bait setup, but repositioning to A now, which might be getting ahead of the game because we can see 3-man push into A long, and this is going to speed it up. Those kills in mid, they're going straight into MongolZ. There's one shot onto Icardia. Oh, smoke connected. Yuri goes down, but MongolZ is in with another, holding it at the back of the site. This AWP dealing so much damage. Woxic under pressure. There could be a drop. He goes for it. The punish is in. Kazahstan has to do it. 1v1, and he takes the kill. The bomb's not down. There's only 20 seconds. Here comes a very rushed Madja. He's got to get in there against the clock, against Kazahstan. As he tries to predict which way is he going to go, but he's got to be the one to tap the bomb. He's got to force Kazahstan to move. There's a molly to try to protect the bomb plant. Kazahstan looking to wait it out now as Madja gets an opportunity to reposition slightly. Now it's a guessing game for Kazahstan as he turns the corner. He connects though, the Famous connect, but Madja still deals the damage. Kazahstan goes down. Oh my goodness, holding on. That was so important for them to win that round. And again, Anders, it's MIBR holding the team on his back in the clutch.
He is the veteran player on the team. And watching him come back in and save them time and time again, I think he should have been dead right then and there. By the way, for anyone watching at home who's complaining that Kazahstan doesn't run while MIBR's planting, the thing is, MIBR could also just not plant and wait for him. So it's not a guarantee, even though it seems like, oh wait, he could just go to the high ground and jump him. Yeah, he could, but he could also lose the round instantly with an AK holding that position. So just didn't have the health for it this time. Aurora, a critical round, a critical clutch coming up for MIBR. And now they're going to be in a very good position. Just pistols left on the FURIA side. They have a bit of a trick up their sleeves here in the middle with 5 people waiting, but the utility use is great for the T side. Flashes going over, deep Molotovs here. They do get rid of one, but I don't know if they're going to be allowed to recover that AK. You could see MIBR's holding the position. All right. Very long fingers on Yuri.
Yeah, MIBR's like, oh, I have to be careful here. I'm out. You can have it. Bomb goes down, and I'm excited, Anders, because you were talking about this. There was an opportunity. It had to be hard fought, but that inflection point, it was that clutch. It's this conversion.
Oh yeah.
Now Aurora could truly go onto a run. There are still some dangers in the sense of stuff that Aurora hasn't come against yet. We talked about that MongolZ setup in the E-box and the layers behind that FURIA have. We haven't seen that dynamic play out. It will be most powerful when Aurora's playing defaults on their T side. Hello. Ricardia.
Oh,
some extra money.
That's huge. That actually is huge. The extra money, but getting rid of the AK, I think, is the thing that they're going to care the most about. Something else to consider. We've had some truly great throwback performances from Fallen so far in the team.
Right.
He's not obviously the main opera any longer, but he's still been playing really, really well. Right now, he's having a bit of a cold game. I think he's got 5 kills at the moment. Now, he's going to be playing the mid position on this map, for those who haven't watched FURIA here before. So it's very interesting to see how that will actually play out on the long term. Is it something that they want to pressure? And MongolZ is in the middle right now. And again, like I pointed out, typically when there's a CT AWP here, there's not going to be any utility. You can see Aurora's frozen on the other side. They know that too. They hear there's no utility. It's very, very suspicious. So I'm glad to see that the Turkish side are being very careful and they're just walking straight into it. Uh-oh. Nice catch on the observers. That is, in fact, a failed Molotov.
The tension in mid here. I've seen a 1 wrong step, too deep on a peak, and there's an opening, but it's like Xantares is going to take the forward space. There's a minute left on the clock, so plenty of time. And in fact, it's a 4-1 split here. Aurora have a lot of bodies behind this. MongolZ edging backwards.
Oh no.
You could get rushed down here. This could be dangerous.
This smoke means they're going to be going A. They smoked the B side to wrap A, but there's already 3 people here. They've definitely picked the wrong bomb side. It doesn't mean they can't win it, but it does mean they're in a lot of trouble right now, Aurora, without them even knowing. This would be too early to let FURIA back in the game, but they might be about to do that anyway. 4 people pushing that cam position. We'll see what Ricardia could do to help them out. Deep flash. Oh, that's a very nice setup for it. Another one coming through, but MongolZ still in position. Catches the first one. A little bit of panic now. And Fallen, so much to do. The spray is epic, but he still gets caught by Ricardia at the end. And Yuri now showing up. 20 seconds on the clock. A little bit of a flashbang. That HE on Yuri is actually kind of interesting. It does go for a bit of a wide swing here. Caught in the open by Jota. It's a triple on Jota. It's a double on Ricardia. And just like that, it's the Turks coming back into the game. That was as close as it could get. They pushed the hardest part of the map. 3 rounds away now to equalizing against FURIA. And that run of rounds, what was it, 8-0, feels so long ago. Here now for FURIA as they're back on pistols. We'll see what they can find. I mean, one of the goals is if they can steal a gun away, perhaps, into the next round. That flash is pretty good. In fact, 2 quick deagle kills. And suddenly, this is a little bit desperate. Oh. But again, MIBR. Is it MIBR or Xantares or Woxic? This guy does everything. It's so cool, isn't it? He's been playing this game since forever.
It's a unit of time forever. Yeah. There we go. I like it.
We don't have calendars that go that far back. The idea that he's still able to do this, I do love it. One of the big questions one of the big worries coming into the day was whether or not Aurora would be so jaded over the loss yesterday that they just wouldn't be able to fight for this one. But MIBR really showing his team, no, we are absolutely going to fight. Third place deciders, historically in Counter-Strike, have been so incredibly boring. It's actually been a great waste of all of our time. But the way that it's been set up now with PGL, because of the VRS system and everything else, it has such an impact. You know, obviously this is some very deep history, but I've casted a lot of third place deciders in the past, and every single one of them has. You can tell the teams don't care. You can just tell that they're running around. There's P90s being bought. It's just everyone kind of like laughing their way through. But that's a thing of the past now, and that's really sick because this means so much. MIBR's picked up a quad kill in this round. I mean, he's got 16 kills for God's sakes.
Yeah, he's top of the scoreboard. Yeah, there's a couple players with 15, Ikinda and Yuri.
Yeah,
MIBR, and it's not just the 16 kills. Like he's had some insane clutches. It's 2, in fact, really.
Also, it makes boomers like me happy, Dan, because it makes me think like, you know, I still had that dream. Maybe if I really gave it 100%, I could become pro as well. You know, even if it's late. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
all right.
So MIBR's, you know, sending a message to all of us. It's never too late.
I don't know whether to enable you or not. I'm not sure what the right thing is to do.
Enable away, Dan.
Well. 2 rounds away now. We'll get back into a buy for FURIA. They did steal away an AK-47, as you guys can see on the lovely overlay. So that's always nice. And MongolZ is going to get that AWP online again. And so far, FURIA have actually had a harder time getting active against Aurora on the CT side. And I feel like FURIA has been one of the best teams in the tournament in terms of getting active on the CT side of this map. It's so hard to do.
Yes, it is. I think it's even harder when you know that your economy is such a weird state that if you do it and it fails, you're saving right afterwards. Like if you have a very deep bank on the CT side, it's easier to sort of throw around away potentially and say, all right, let's give it a shot and see what happens. But back to the wall, always going to feel a little bit differently. Here we go, round number 19. FURIA still with a 2-round lead. But for how long is that going to last here? Flash on over for Fallen. Trying to delay his use of the deeper utility that he's got. Just wants to see if he can slow them down even a little bit. He's playing really far back and gonna drop a couple of nades over maybe or pick up another one. Not really sure. Smoke goes off. Bomb is still dropped though, so this is just the early test utility for Aurora. They just want to put some pressure on and force FURIA to use some of these early grenades. Nice double Molotov from both sides of that connector. So if you're there, you either have to spend a Molotov to escape, or you're going to get pretty much barbecued.
And it feels very risky for FURIA. You know, they're almost playing retake on B, and obviously we understand that retaking B is very difficult on this map. But of course, you're deciding to play really passive. But Aurora, they're not playing too slow of a round here. Looks like they're going to just simply go in for the B split. They've done all of the due diligence with the util, clearing these positions, and they feel there's got to be people here somewhere, but they've got enough space now to maybe get a plant in, but there's the flash for Yuri. Can he find anything lost in the smoke? Going around the side, and it's Vicardia to find him. And suddenly, Aurora looking real good here, pushing the issue deep into the site. And that's a wrap for FURIA. They got nothing left here. They gave the space and were punished.
It's such a, unfortunately, a classic challenge to the B defense here. We see it all the time. Once those smokes go up, yes, you have 3 people at the site, but they're not 3 people playing together. They're all, and they end up playing all, you know, pretty much alone. Centaur's out for the hunt here. You love to see it. MongolZ with the AWP and keeping it alive is actually essential, although it also looks at the same time like it's going to be impossible here. They've spotted him out. They know where he is. A little jump to force out the shot. Blocks it. Clean take. Nobody even dies on the Aurora side. Everything is in lockstep at the moment. 10-9. Money. I mean, the round loss bonus, sure, like you can talk about that, but they're in an awkward position right now, Dan. I'm getting real worried.
Yeah, and it's you just can't allow Aurora, I think, as is the case at the top level with most amazing T-side teams, on a T-side map like this, you can't allow just a clean round where they can just execute their default with no disruption. You got to get in there somehow, but that's the challenge of this map. And Woxic looking for any E-box aggression. But with just an MP9 in that position, there's not too much you can do. And they're going to make the slow walk, just as FURIA did on the T side. The contact walk into A. It is dangerous. Fallen preemptively spraying. Only good for the one.
Still pretty good. Honestly, MongolZ takes down 2. They had the smoke up, but they pushed a little bit earlier. That smoke was a second too late. And suddenly, FURIA, if they can make it back into this round, that would be a bit of a miracle, to be honest. The crowd now chanting his name again. We heard it yesterday. They do love him here in Astana. Maja's trying to creep on through, see if he could dash the hopes and dreams. It'll be Jotaro on the other side with the AK instead. Clean shot to take him down. Silence the crowd for but a second. Yuri going down next. Maja up to 17, and there's not much, I think. Yakandar, if he had a kit, I think it's a more doable kind of clutch here with the smoke as well in his pocket. Maybe there is one on the ground.
Is there a gun?
I think without the kit, it almost doesn't matter, but they are moving really. Oh, there is a kit. Oh, it's so far away. Okay, if there was a kit and it was closer. I know I keep changing my mind here, but I'm being very particular about this, Dan.
Anders, got to get it together. But it's not looking doable here. They played it so perfectly, even with a kit from the get-go. Just the positional play, that double back into A-long, such a good setup to use. And wow, that was a close one for Aurora. Almost went wrong there with MongolZ in the right time at the right place at the right time, I should say. And we are all tied up here, Anders, from 8-0 to this.
Yeah, a 9-3 first half. You think about the 3 rounds that they got by Maja with the AWP and a 5-7. His impact on his game is grotesque at the moment. Bringing his team back. He's not really the star player. That is just like he's outshone by everyone on this team, or he should be in theory. But in reality, there are games like this, and it is by not at all the first time that we've seen it done. And again, it is just so cool. All right, fail smoke. Don't know why we had to out them like that. But it also makes them look human. I appreciate it. I've been known to fail a smoke or two myself. Oh. Okay, Yakandar.
Wow.
That's very Sen.
That's crazy.
Do you think he's just doing the breathing exercises in there?
Yeah. Just still staying out there. Throwing the nades, so kind of showing, hey, there's presence in here. You're going to have to use some extra util to clean this out. But there is that extra util from Santaris. Runs in with it. He's looking very hungry for an entry for Aurora right now. Big threat level. You would surely expect there to be a FURIA rotation towards this B site, because Santaris is looking for that entry. The smokes, the util starts to come in as well. The threat level only continues to increase here. FURIA start the rotation. They've got deep positions. It wasn't quick enough for Aurora. FURIA ahead of the play, defending the B site. They can't go in.
That is such a sick call for FURIA. They actually pushed in front of the smokes that were thrown in there. That's a hard call to make. Unfortunately, Jota's going to get a kill there on Yuri. The bomb's in middle. That bomb needs to go somewhere right now. They're getting slowed down. Oh, that's Wakadia with the bomb on his back, finding Kazahstan. And now he is running. He's got the shoes on, trying to make it flash to slow down Fallen. He dives into the bomb site, punching in the digits mid-air. 8 seconds left of the bomb gets planted, but he's out in the open. Oh, he's going to get overwhelmed. A team kill at the end. But it will be the first round. Once they have rifles here, they finally do something in the second half.
Oh my goodness, that was sick.
He had 1 bullet left, by the way, on the AK. So the team kill might have been the only thing that could have allowed him to get the headshot. Otherwise, he has to get 2 kills and 1 bullet. It probably cannot be done. But this, you said it, in front of the execute was Yuri. That is such a fantastic call. He was going to play on the other side of it, and Centaurus and the rest would have taken over the bomb side. There's no question.
And what's interesting is just the play around the E-box position. That was a big help in giving FURIA the info.
Yes.
But enough about that. We're straight back into it. FURIA, it's first round in a while. Can they keep it going? full buys. Big pace there towards the water side, alongside from Aurora.
Again, that question of whether or not Kazahstan wants to straight up fight them now. He's got the MP9, but I said it already, Aurora do not mind taking the straight A main fight. They are very, very confident, and it's a challenge to how FURIA want to play it, essentially. Are you ready to take the battle? There are a couple of players on different teams that are so sick at doing it.
FURIA, they have the read here, it seems.
I like it. Yeah, look at it. So Kazahstan saying, yeah, I'll come fight you.
Well, the mind games at this point. Is there a re-hit from Aurora? Are FURIA committing to this? There's so much in the way of mind games that can happen.
The fact that they retake it also means you can't do the A fake into the B split here. They might still try and do it, but it should be way more readable. FURIA, they're pushing out into A main again. There's a timer on this. I don't think they're going to stop. Are they really? There's 3 people. I feel like they should keep going.
40 seconds now. And they're going into MongolZ.
Now's the push happening.
Here's MongolZ. Oh, he gets the first shot, but he's in trouble. They're going to crunch on him, and Ricardo goes down thanks to Fallen. That's really key. That helps to keep MongolZ not alive. Focused on one position. He delivers shot after shot. It's WOXIK! MongolZ finishes the round! Takes him out. It was guaranteed at that point, but Fallen actually saved MongolZ. I don't think that he would ever understand how critical Fallen was in the completion of that play. Keeps the AWP alive, and FURIA survive a critical round.
One last timeout called now for Aurora. They've got their backs to the wall for real this time. That spin around here, you're right. Fallen getting that critical kill at the right time. And it proves another thing, which is, even if you have a bit of a slow start here, look at MongolZ. This kind of a round, just keeping the AWP alive. 3 kills for him. And I was worried about that push out of main, because they had so many people. When you got 3 people in main like that, you can't just stay there. And I thought, oh no, they're going to be delayed, they're not going to do it. But they did it right at the perfect time. That's so sick timing for the CT defense. 12-10, round number 23. Last pitch here for Aurora. They need 2 in a row. And it's going to be WOXIK stepping into the middle. Not seeing anyone here. Let's see what FURIA have got. They've also stolen 3 AK stand. This is the best. This is the most winnable round that they're going to get here.
We've seen a lot of unlikely rounds won this tournament. Aurora have been doing that. Here's the peak from Kazahstan. The timing is actually sick. But WOXIK responsibly deals with him. So Sikindar now taking the position. They want to fight. They know they can. They got that AK advantage, just like you said. Brings the confidence.
Yeah, they still want to push it here. Flash to turn around. Yakadar, he was ready, but the crosshair slightly above Madja's head. Otherwise, everything else was very good. Yakandar's played an amazing game. I didn't even realize, but he's up to 18 kills. That kind of went under the radar. There's been too much chaos happening in the game. Again, they push out a main, and again, it's a good idea to keep going. Why wouldn't you? If you think you've got the advantage, this is what information means. They see nobody. Fallen is calling it into his team. They're going to be counter-rotating towards the B site. Aurora don't know it yet, but they could be in a lot of trouble here. Madja trying to hold both positions. The timing eludes him, and he might have been dead already, but somehow gets to live. Smoke goes up there, and Fallen unable to find him. Madja escapes into the B bomb site, and with him, very likely going to be a B plant following. They've thrown the bomb over. Yuri, do you want to risk it? Try and go for it? He does, and might have risked everything for them here. Bomb goes down. Fallen will take down Ricardia to follow it, and now the 2 versus 2 unfolds, but it's really 2 isolated 1v1s. Fallen versus WOXIK, and then Madja on the other side. Oh, MongolZ comes into it. WOXIK can't escape Madja. There's still time. They've got the kit as well. The flash is out. Madja, how much have you got for us? 11 bullets left to try and touch it. Keep his team on the map. He hunts down MongolZ. 3 bullets. And now again, buying time every second. He is such a master at this. I think he's done it. I think he did it.
Wow. I'm glad they picked Anubis, Anders. I mean, obviously,
to watch him back on a high level. Of course, his career is already legendary in some sense, but if they can upset this one, and I think it would be a genuine upset if they take down Aurora here to claim the 3rd spot in Astana, I'm into it. Inferno coming up next, Dan. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, and I can absolutely vibe with that too. I remember casting Fallen back in the Kaboom TD, like an LG at X Games situation in Aspen.
Yes.
So yeah, we've seen him come up over the years, and it's great to see these iconic players. And FURIA on the T side to kick things off with on Inferno, Aurora on the CT side. And FURIA not off to a super fast pace, keeping it fairly tentative on Banana for now.
Yeah, but such a big indication this will be a Banana execute. The double smoke and then the Molotov. I mean, it could also be Pit, but very, very commonly this will end up at the B-bomb side. We'll see what they run into. Early HE is a sign, well, they're not even a sign. They know for sure there's going to be 2 people here, and that already seems to kind of dissuade them. At least they want to go back into middle. I've seen WotC get some pretty nasty one-taps here with the P2000. This one not going to quite connect, and they smoke off instead. They divert back into the bomb site. Nicely done so far. WotC getting the first one. There's the Molotov into the pit. But WotC's finding more kills. Oh, they're getting decimated here. 3 headshots for WotC before they can get onto the site. Bomb now picked up by Fallen, but he has to get the ace clutch to start Inferno with. That would be unseemly. That would be too much, and unfortunately is as well as Magic takes him down.
Yeah, very quick decision-making there. Not hesitating at all from the small pit, just walking straight through the smoke. Really well done, and that's a relief. You know, Aurora started the last map off with nothing, basically, for so long, so feels good to at least get going here on the CT side with that pistol.
If we had just infinite resources at our disposal, I would want to be able to ask Fallen specifically whether or not their read in this round was that there was 2 or 3 on B. They knew for sure 2, but it's not uncommon for there to be early 3-man stacks at B on pistol rounds. And if they thought 3, then going A is such an obvious choice. But in fact, there was only the 2, so I'm just so curious about things like that. It's like, how much do they really know based off what they're seeing?
With the bomb plot, though, they're going to get a lot of extra util. They get the hero AK onto Fallen. A rifler. And they're walking the apartments. And appraisals happening in here. All the goods. Making their way onto the A site. And the setup here is perfect. 2 players on short. That's going to be beautiful for this push that spills out of the apartments. There it is. The hero AK gets the entry onto WotC. That's the bomb plant. This is a perfect round so far from FURIA. Jota keeps Aurora in with a chance on the retake.
Yeah, but it's so awkward, the fact that Case Aurora... Oh, he actually lands a dink. Wait a minute. Back for more. Just a couple of taps coming out. Yeah, they got to focus on this. They can't really be distracted by Case Aurora. They know that eventually he has to get up there, but right now it's about retaking against Fallen and that AK. They lose Yuri. Fallen swinging left and right. He does get actually... Wait, what? How did he land the shot against Antares? I'm not even sure. And now Kazahstan trying to get here fast. There is a kit in play, and they are going to be able to get the full defuse in here. Very, very nice attempt, I must say, for that FURIA side, but it isn't enough. They don't really punch through. How did Centaurus die?
I want to see that again. That was crazy. That was like so sick. Yeah, Fallen knew nothing about that one, but I'm sure we'll get to see it here in the replay. Yeah, when you see that short setup, like the apartments play really is the counter to that, because you can wrap it so easily, get on the site real quick. Yeah. I mean, the replay didn't help me, Anders.
No. Yeah, but I think Centaurus was the second in line there.
Yes.
I don't think he was in front, right?
No, he was not. He was in the back.
So it was a recoil headshot, basically, because his crosshair I don't think was on him.
Okay, we got another... I mean, with that bomb plant, we've got more guns coming out. Another hero AK on Yakindar. They knew they did some damage. The econ is pretty low. And again, they're going for the apartments contact. We'd love to see it from them.
This could be sick, right? Okay, Jota here, early incendiary. It's a nice idea, but it's too much. He does get overwhelmed. They're in the pit now, and Wakardia or Swoxic, he needed to be out of there. He needed to have anything but the AWP ready. It's another big chance right now for a bomb plant. 3v3.
And Molodoi, he has the AWP in a post plant on Inferno. That's ridiculously strong. What can he do with it? Ricardio's there. Is there any util? No. It's a completely raw peek into the AWP. Now they know where it is. But can they do anything about it? Quick pop flash. That's a stunning pop flash Xantares now, the Terminator's been unleashed into the site. And the crossfire's been broken by the smoke. Yuri has to do it alone. Kazahstan trying to get in front of that smoke so he can help. Good defense there. And now opened up to, well, you know, it's not enough. It's not enough. There it is. Xantares delivers. And here he is early on Inferno.
Look at Mancha. He's so fired up. Oh, I love the energy. That's what it means to be a leader.
Yes.
They almost threw that away. Like you mentioned, the first pick against MongolZ with no flash, and they had the flashbang even the first time, and Maja was down there. But they didn't want to use it early on. They almost lost the round as a result of it. If not for Xantares coming into that one with a bit of a triple, maybe it would have been all washed away. A lot of pressure early on. FURIA, they're doing so much damage to the Aurora economy. Even in this round, even if they won 3 in a row, it's an MP9 on Arcadia. They're missing grenades. And FURIA right back. They don't care. They keep planting the bomb. They've got AKs. Nice.
They have like a complete 4x with everything. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Look at the early nade damage here. 2 Aurora players at B-bomb site. Already feeling the stress.
They brought Ricardia over. Respecting the pressure, my goodness! Through the smoke!
What a read.
Early 5v4. Are they going to keep going?
Yeah. I think they will. Counter smoke comes up, but the flashes are in. The Molotovs are already out. Ricardia swings back in. That is a sick defense to begin with. He's still got 4 bullets left. It's very nearly enough to get that kill. There is a player who's made away with Church, though, yeah. It's Yakandar. A bit of a flank, but there's another one. Oh, they catch him. Never mind. They knew. MongolZ can't stay alive. It's Arcadia with 4 kills in the round. If he doesn't swing through the smoke and pick up the early couple of shots there, then I think the bomb site just falls.
And these rounds are now starting to feel really grating, I think, for FURIA, because they keep getting so close. Economically speaking, they had everything this round because they're getting the bomb plants round after round. This is the first round they don't manage to do so. And there is that peek into pool, and it's just like you said, it's so perfect. And it's not a bad call at all from FURIA to just rush it into the site after getting that pick through the smoke.
I mean, there was so much going on that we couldn't really catch it, but I do kind of wonder how exactly they knew that Yakindar was going for the flank. Because it's a wicked play for Arcadia to spin around and just toss the grenade. Maybe it's
true,
just on instinct, but either way, you're not wrong though. That does take a lot of the air out of the room for FURIA, unfortunately. They've kept the pressure on. They've done so well to set it all up, but now they're down 4 rounds. And the buy here, I mean, it's still dangerous, but Aurora holding on tight at the moment.
And it's such a relief too. I mean, this third place match is so important, and Aurora losing their map pick.
Yeah.
Now finding themselves on Inferno with a 4-0 start. We get the apartments being worked on by FURIA. A couple players trying to keep that presence on Banana as well. How deep are we going here, Maja? Spring forward. Almost caught by MongolZ. The punish from Xantares. You are not allowed to touch Maja without Xantares coming into play.
The fact that he's still sticking around does seem a bit crazy. Fallen has another HE here. Better be careful you don't walk straight into it. They are already a little bit low. But they're rotating Arcadia. So they're bringing more healthy players to the B-bomb site. I guess that does make sense. And they can sort of throw Maja back now towards the library. Let's see what they do. All right, he's going to pick up an MP9, in fact. So basically, a lot of rotations happening on the Aurora side as a result of the early damage. What's the play, though, for FURIA? I mean, what do you want to do at this point in time? The traditional wisdom on this map is if you lose a player, just go B. 4v5, go B.
Yeah, well, they did at least keep top Banana presence, and Aurora don't have any info there at the moment. So for Aurora, setting up to a 2-3 basic setup. And FURIA, obviously, there's a lot of ways to get into the A sites. We take top mid now. There's a quick pop flash. That is some good fundamentals. It's simple, it's clean, but so is the defense from Pit. Fallen finds a headshot. He's so low, though, and still Woxic in the site, but finally he goes down, and in fact, somehow, FURIA engineer an afterplant on A.
Aurora don't have the grenades. If they had a Molotov or an HE, they could probably win the round with that alone. Boost up on top. Fallen is right there. He's actually almost helping them with the boost. Standing inside. He's got the right idea. They don't know about it. They're trying to test it. Smoke. They're waiting on the other side right now. They do have kits, so they got plenty of time still. And Fallen, unfortunately, not with plenty of health. Ducking into the corner, hoping to buy the crucial seconds that he can get here for that bomb to blow up. Fallen. All right, then.
What is that?
Jumping in, not from the future, like
God.
the Terminator, but still.
Is this Counter-Strike or basketball? Why is he trying to slam dunk? What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. Style points for that, though, I must say. Fallen doesn't look impressed. He's like, come on. Have some respect.
Yeah, hard one to win. 2 HP for Fallen there.
That's sick.
Great punishment to MongolZ, like baiting MongolZ in. This Magi was in such a forward spot. Aurora 5-0. Again, these rounds feel so frustrating, I feel like, for FURIA. They keep getting so close.
Frustrating, but also you can build good momentum anyway. You know the economy is going to be a bit of a question mark. Centaurus actually has a bit more money than I was expecting, but still, if you can keep beating up on the Aurora economy, even if you're down, it should be all right. Magi powering through. Kazahstan has got 0 kills. And Fallen, who's really been responsible for all of the output right now for FURIA, he's been blown up at the start of the round. This could be a little bit different. Jota does go down, but Wakadia, look at the timing on the repeat there. No chance for Yuri to really respond to anything. So Yakandar and MongolZ sneaking into it, sneaking right into the crosshairs of Woxic. MongolZ, he's got time, and that is about the best we can probably say right now.
Certainly, yeah. Well, the time is expired. 6-0 there for Aurora, looking really good and comfortable at the moment on the CT side. They've dodged a lot of very marginal scenarios and have a solid base to work from. Their economy is pretty nice as well, so I think they're going to be happy on that front as well. And for FURIA, are we going to get a timeout at any point? Because it does feel like, you know, they've kind of been beating their heads against the wall. And we've got some Tech-9s now, just Yuri on the Galil. So faster rounds. Oftentimes, I feel like these will be banana rounds, like you said, but...
Yeah. I mean, that's what you want to do, but the problem is Aurora have done such a fantastic job at holding banana.
Yes.
Tech-9's are obviously very, very well designed for it. Could be fun to see them go for some sort of... Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Never mind. That is the least silent boost I've ever seen.
And the thing is, too, the apartment setup spilling into the pit. There was like a timing, but it's now gone as Woxic rotates with the AWP from the long to the short position.
I was about to say, they could try and wrap Arch really quickly with Tech-9's too, that, especially if you think the AWP is going to be there, you can run it down like that. The AWP, in fact, is on the quad side instead. Woxic holding the line up here. Don't know if he scoped when he was here. I don't think they heard it. Small detail you got to be careful of. Good grenades here, trying to force him back. A lot of damage here, but here come the Tech-9s, hunting him down. And just Jota in the pit. Everyone says far away. He's alone right now. And it seems like they have at least an idea. They want to test it out. The backup is coming in. Wakadia rushing to the library to try and help out. And an awesome amount of help as he takes down Yuri. FURIA, they might have slowed this down at the wrong time. They had the opportunity to kill Jota, but he was in the pit with no help there. But now Wakadia has arrived. He's going to be good for only the 1 kill, unfortunately. The bomb is planted here. And Kazahstan yet to find a kill. Now in a clutch against 3. Going to make the wraparound. He's got a Molotov. Wait a minute. Oh, if he knew how to throw it, he does. I think the bomb's already going to be defused. Oh, it's too quick. You can Molotov that corner. It is doable. It's extremely hard to do.
I'm sad we didn't get to see it, but also I think FURIA will be sad after some of those initial entries that they weren't managing to get more. Getting the free one onto Woxic there, for example, having that all potentially available if you secure the site is massive, but
right.
unable to convert. And finally, we do see another tactical coming out here from FURIA. They need to get at least a few rounds. This is not the same situation as an Anubis in terms of how one-sided it can be.
Oh, no.
So this certainly feels worse, I think, if you're FURIA right now.
I agree. Also, the call to slow down there for FURIA in another round might have been great, because sometimes you can catch rotations and it's just, you know, slowing down the middle of attack can really be helpful. But this was one of those times, not that FURIA could have known it, but if they just put pressure on Jota, I think they're going to be able to trade him out, and then they have a much more secure position for the bomb plant and everything else behind it. 7-0. Aurora. Devastating loss on their own map pick of Anubis. Down to 0.4 seconds on the defuse for Fallen in the 1v1 against Matcha. That could have taken the wind out of them. That could have been it. But somehow they keep coming back. The strength on this team is pretty admirable. Oh, that's, again, slightly new tech with the grenades landing behind the half wall, because there's a lazier version where they kind of blow up much higher in the sky and above the barrels instead.
Oh, and really threatening, or trying to create an argument to Aurora that they should have 3 on B right now. But FURIA picking up the pace to go fast A, to capitalize on a timing that isn't really there. With Cardia's in position by Connector. How many can he find here? The smoke's going to go down. Cardia going through the smoke. Swing is a miss. MongolZ, though, is going to keep the momentum pushing forward. Woxic, he's got 2 sides to worry about. Smoking going down might help a little bit, but he's going to whiff the shot. And that's a 5-man after plant there for that A site. Xantares is 1 kill, but there's so much more. They'd have to go so deep to try to make this real, but he's not even liking the look of it.
And also, as it often comes down to, the value of the AKs is so high that even if you think you can do it, if you really want to do something, you could go for exit kills to try and make sure that FURIA don't get to keep too many people alive here, but I don't mind the fact that they're going this route.
What's interesting to me, too, is that in terms of the CT defense, generally speaking, they've been able to play fairly passive on both sides. You know, there's, of course, that initial banana pressure, but we haven't seen deep banana takes. We haven't seen aggressive apps play. We haven't seen Aurora fighting for top mid, and they haven't needed to. This is the first round where you're like, okay, I guess if they're going to hit us with rounds like that, we do kind of need to get a kill before, slow them down, play more disruptively. So that argument's now been put onto Aurora, but at the same time, they're 7-0. We're just playing pretty straightforward, taking less risks, so they might continue to play passively. We'll have to see what FURIA decides to do as well.
One of my favorite bits of aggression, oh, well, this is a different for Aurora, never mind, I'll bring it back later. 4 at the B bomb side, just Woxic in the middle sniping away. This could get kind of interesting, deep grenades, but actually they're taking so much damage themselves, they will nuke Yakinda at the bottom of Banana, so that is the start, if nothing else. Kazahstan still hunting for any opening that he could get. 0 kills. We've got no doubts what this rifler could do, but sometimes just finding the first kill is the hardest part. Good retake utility, honestly, for Aurora. Just trying to put some pressure on FURIA. It's Woxic. They know that he was in middle at some point here. You could see Yuri's very much thinking about trying to take the peak. And MongolZ is coming in to clear out the arch position. Still a minute on the clock. If they hit this bomb site right now, Dan, I think they might be able to punch through.
Yeah, well, they respect the short position with a flash, with a molly. What are we going to see here? You can't surely peek this dry. An AWP is on it. Woxic is going to be the dry peak. He'll take full advantage. Falls back into the site. Only 3 left in the aggression for FURIA. That might not be enough bodies here. And Aurora are quick for the rotation. The flank is now activated. They're so far ahead of this one. FURIA don't have any options left. They're going to shoot their way out of this, and there's just too many CTs. And they're hitting their shots. Aurora 8-1. It's too dominant. It's too much.
Yeah. It's Wakadia 2K rushing down with a knife in his hand, picking up an AK. That's how sure he was that there was going to be nobody there, which is honestly slightly mental.
It's kind of, I feel like your assessment's good. And also, it's cool to see that the matchmaking strats actually work in pro play. Just nuking the banana.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does feel good. Because whenever it happens in my games, that never seems to be the outcome. But anyway.
No, you're right. All right, Kazahstan, let's see what you got. Molotov there, setting it up. Counter grenades are coming out, and so far he's absolutely fine. Oh, the spray eluding him just a little bit. Nade almost looked like Madja wanted to run in and catch it there. But no casualties really on either side. I say that. And 2 seconds later, we got a couple. There's another headshot. Wakadia, he seems to be completely fired up. He's hunting for kills. He's 14-4. Awesome to see. Madja, all right, practically throws the HE right into the teeth of Kazahstan. But you know what? This is kind of winnable. It's a 2 versus 5. If FURIA win a round like this one now, that could really get the team back. Smoke goes up. There is an opportunity right now. The first kill for Kazahstan. Maybe they can pick up another round.
Yeah, and you got MongolZ with the AWP post plant. Everybody knows how good an AWP post plant can be, especially on this B site. Gotta find the shots. Kazahstan defending the church position. That's going to get taken down now. It's all on MongolZ. What can he do here in front of the home crowd? Misses the first shot. The second rattled off. Doesn't connect. And Aurora do it again. 9-1. FURIA have had so many chances, Anders, in these post plants. It's not as though they haven't been able to get these like after plants and these situations where it feels somewhat even.
9-1.
The morale. I feel like the morale's hurt a little bit right now. I mean, you wouldn't blame them.
It's super tricky. If they win that round, I think a lot could change, but we are nearing the end of the half here. And unfortunately, FURIA just haven't been able to put it. They came in with a very clear game plan, which is to keep putting the pressure on. They bought the hero AKs. They did so much damage. The first part of the game, even if they didn't get the rounds, FURIA, it was working. They actually were successful in some sense.
Yeah.
They built a bridge to collapsing the economy, but Aurora just kept winning all the crucial rounds, some of the big clutches, and now FURIA, it does look a little bit like they've sort of run out of energy here. There's got to be another plan in mind.
So Aurora once again kind of falling back into the more passive setups that have been working for them. The trade-off is that you do let FURIA take some space. With that said, Xantara is still providing that resistance on top banana behind the half wall. So if you're FURIA, you have to spend a bit more util. So there could be a setup there.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, match is ready. Once he hits the util. Right. That actually doesn't do as much damage as I felt like.
Yeah, but this one might then. Oh,
nice.
They reoccupied the position. They say, all right, that was not, like you said, that wasn't so bad. We're in the clear, right, guys? They're not in the clear at all. Another
nasty
bomb onto FURIA. Yeah, some counter incendiaries coming out as well. The spray is pretty good, but Centaurus still goes down. But look at how soft they all are. A couple of bursts here from the M4 should take them down. Oh my god, Woxic! Stabs falling with the AWP. Madge is still back here, and it's easy. The headshots ring in. He's back to try and save the team. A triple for him and Yakanda. With just 12 seconds left. I don't think this can be done. He can't clear up the bomb site. All they have to do is not fight him. Jota gets the final round, but it's Madge once again highlighting the round.
The util usage has been sick from Aurora. You got to give it to them. The nades have been eerily effective, and it feels so labored here for FURIA. There's one nade. There's a that was so nice.
Crushing.
It almost can't be better. That last nade.
Honestly, that third kill for Madge is.
It's hot.
They're not boomer reactions at all. That's crazy. Here we go. In towards the top of banana. Yakanda is sick of it. He wants to win one more round here before the half is done. And this is their only opportunity to do that. Kazahstan trying to run into it. Centaurus on the other side. Doesn't use all the bullets, which is very smart in case they come through. He's got 13 left. And now the backup is going to be there. Do they realize Jota is there? There is a flank up on a flank here. Actual flankception with Yuri getting the kill onto Jota. And somehow FURIA staying alive in the round.
Yeah, they're out of CT jail because they were imprisoned.
Yeah.
It's a jailbreak. But here comes the Warden. The Warden has an AWP.
That's a lot. I don't think that's regulations, but they might be what they need right now to keep this under control. Under a minute. Molotov, obviously not going to be the same as a smoke, but as a result, no one's peeking. It's smart from FURIA. They understand, they know Woxic has the AWP, so it would be kind of silly to see them peek it anyway. Centaurus and Woxic. You can see because Centaurus is already low on health, this retake is so much harder to do. But they're going to give it a shot anyway. Deep nade, they might walk straight into that one. Oh, very soft. 19 health left. Looking for just one good opening for his AWP to do anything with. Good shot from Woxic, but again, there's no way that they're going to peek him right. There's so much time. Yakanda getting that one. It's a good headshot, but a 10-2 first half it's still spectacular for Aurora and gives us a very, very, very good shot at getting to a third map, which honestly, I hope we get there. I want that.
Yeah, me too. I really do. And it's going to be really interesting to see precisely what can happen if FURIA, because there's no way around it. They are going to have to grind like crazy, because with this kind of difference, even if you start to get just a run of rounds, the other team's round loss bonus plus any plants they get, it means that the buys get to a point where the longer like the road is, the harder it gets. There's more and more resistance.
Yeah.
So it's like this is going to be the sweatiest, grindiest Inferno if FURIA are to make it close.
I mean, as soon as they win the pistol, I'm concerned. Like, if they win the pistol FURIA, I'm worried for Aurora already.
Right, fair enough.
That could happen. Like, it could be a very, very fast comeback, faster than it seems. 2 rounds, obviously, very, very low on the scoreboard here. It's just that we've seen Aurora throw away opportunities like this in the past. They're kind of notorious for it in some sense, especially on big stages. I'll say this much. Wakadia so far has had some banging maps in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he is a player that when he was brought out, when people saw him play for the first time, everybody, the whole community was excited. But then, the deeper in the tournaments they went, the worse it got. He had a personal issue to overcome, and I would say he's worked very hard on that. It's incredibly cool to see that he looks much more at home right now. What is this from Aurora? 5-man bridge? I actually don't think I've seen this before. That's very interesting.
Maybe they felt like FURIA were going to push second mid or apartments, something. But, I mean, FURIA, they were aggro on Banana. They had and saw nothing. So now they have 4 players ready to receive a push towards A. So FURIA have a really good read. But there's an army there's a horde of Glocks.
Setting it up, Magic's already thrown in the first smoke. Now comes the flash as well, but Fallen spins around for it, catching them airborne. It's going to be another headshot before it's over. 3 kills! They had the nades, they had the flashes to try and set it up, but Aurora crushed on approach. And Yakindao, easy shot onto Magic. Wow. That probably would have worked if they could have got a bit closer. But they just got caught a little bit too early.
Yeah. It really helps if you're on the CT side, you like feel it coming. You've got the read, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
And you could see FURIA were definitely poised, primed to receive that push. FURIA now, 3 rounds to 10. But again, Aurora, they're actually going to go for a buy here. Obviously, they didn't get the bomb down, so there's a world where they could have gone for Glocks, but they're going to get that pressure on.
And I think you could see that FURIA are expecting it to be Glocks, and because they have 3 MP9s. Now, it is Inferno, so maybe it's not quite the same. We do know the MP9s are really strong on Inferno, but on any other map, if I saw this kind of buy, I would say, okay, it is going to be a bit of a surprise for FURIA, because otherwise you probably will try and go for more like, a couple of FAMAS maybe, just to round it out and make sure you don't lose somehow to the Tech-9s on the other side. Yakindao playing it dangerously. He's got Fallen behind him, so if the fight goes on for more than 2 seconds, Fallen will have out. All right. Shoots before they even get through, and the crossfire for the layered defense here. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know, this game is back on, Dan. I'm calling it already.
Yes.
4-10.
Sometimes it seems risky to have players so close to the smoke when you know there's pistols of any kind, because they can flash through smokes. That's like kind of a spot you want. Hello, hello. Uh-oh, 2 players up for free. An M4 stolen by Woxic. What else can he do with this? How much damage is possible? He's got the bomb on his back. And on the flank, okay, Serato hits the timing. Oh my goodness, that was not how the round was supposed to be finished out by FURIA.
I think Woxic is distracted by the running in the middle.
Yeah.
You see him looking at the wall to figure out how many people, where they're running and all the rest of it, and that's why he's not peeking the hallway, because it obviously looks incredibly silly that he's not, holding the corner there, but it was actually the footsteps through middle that kind of distracted him. Still, I mean, how fun would that have been if he could have found another one? You never know. 10-4. And
it might delay the AWP coming online, but either way, FURIA is going to be, like we said, a grindy, sweaty game of Inferno no matter what.
What are you doing, Molodore?
That is not good. That is not good.
I don't mind if he wanted to jump to peak second mid, but he pushed all the way out there. I definitely don't like that. Look at Wakadia. He's already picked up this M4. If they let them back into the round early on like this, that I think, or into the half, that would have been pretty pretty disastrous. Wakadia gets a headshot, takes down Kazahstan. Yuri definitely sweating right now. Wakadia finds a headshot. He's back into it here. Yuri trying to spray them down. The USB has come out. He must fight Centaurus before backup gets there. Chance for a reload on both sides, and Yekindar trying to run there as fast as he humanly can. It's Jota with a headshot, and now it's just Yekindar hoping that he could do anything to stop the calamity. Deep nade. Centaurus gets nuked on sight, and it's a shot right through. Yekindar to the rescue.
Wow, the nade actually spot on. It's an artillery there from Yekindar. Oh my goodness. FURIA hanging on in these rounds by the skin of their teeth. It just doesn't make sense. But they managed to do it. That's a crazy shot. And he wasn't even peeking. He's just trying to get by Anders. He's just trying to get to where he's going.
I swear he was further up.
That just makes it even more sick from Jota, those Deagle kills and that clutch.
Was that the same? Am I on drugs? I don't understand what's... No, that can't be it. That must have been another headshot that he got. But he got one more. Did Jota get 3 kills with a Deagle in that round and I just didn't even notice?
Yeah, he was on fire with that. Okay, but FURIA, they're still in winning ways, but it's real hard. Yekindar, though, comes back in again with another smoke kill. Woxic down early, so FURIA, they're in this great spot now on the CT side where you don't have to fight quite as hard because you've already got that man advantage. But still, keeping the info game alive is Fallen, and they're going to get Yekindar back towards that B side of the map. Another deep banana smoke. Really killing a lot of time here, Anders, for Aurora. They've completely paused the round, but they're not gaining space.
Yekindar, he's back. He loves this. This is the sort of stuff that makes him such a hilarious player. He runs into him. Magic goes down, and very nearly a kill with the HE as well. Centaurus, as low as you could possibly be. And Fallen, you're not going to catch him making a mistake here. He's played an epic game on Inferno. He's 14 kills. He knows all he has to do is stay alive. The backup is coming. My God, how did he do that? Wakadia, that should be illegal. The flash comes over. Kazahstan, he can't stand up to it. Wakadia's a machine right now. Yuri and MongolZ, what just happened? This was a 1 round. FURIA had it in the bag. Centaurus was nearly killed. Fallen was playing it as perfectly as you could have, buying time for Kazahstan to get there. And then Wakadia showed up and spin-botted his way onto the B-bomb site. I actually cannot understand what has happened. Jota ends up going down here, but this round is already lost. Aurora, they will pick up an 11th round. And it is thanks to Wakadia.
It's 18 for 9 right now. MongolZ trying to survive. Can he keep the AWP alive? Centaurus taking the lick of bomb damage. MongolZ, no! Wakadia, 19 and 9 now. Just what is happening? He's having such a game. Oh man, FURIA. Like even going for that play with Yekindar, it was risky but so beautiful. And you almost feel like they should be rewarded with the rounds. But Wakadia, you're totally right, Anders. We've seen some truly epic stuff out of him this tournament in the playoffs.
It's we're gonna have to see the replay of some of those kills from his point of view at some point. I swear Fallen was showing nothing. He understood exactly what his assignment was. He knew, just don't peek it. Maybe there was, I mean, there obviously was a pixel showing, but it wasn't a lot. That is nuts. 11-5, Aurora suddenly much closer to winning this map. Economy's low. I mean, this is going to be right now, it's the easiest point in the game for Aurora to just take it before FURIA can really build a comeback. The economy's low. If they lose this round, it's going to be even lower, and that's it. You can knock them out right now. They're wobbling on their knees. Like it's not looking good here for the CT side.
What's interesting is that Aurora are killing time. They're not going to maybe necessarily mega commit into a site because they don't even have the bomb, which is a tell for us that they are looking for something to be given. So long as FURIA just stay resolute and hold, they will they will have gamed that system, and then they'll put Aurora in a spot where they will be too pressed for time to do everything perfectly. So Aurora have to make sure they hit that threshold. That's why we're seeing the bomb picked up now, and they're going to go into the A site. Has to be an overperformance here for FURIA in the pit.
Yeah, but you're so right, because if they'd gone back to B, Fallen just put down the smoke. So if that hadn't happened, I think it would have been a disaster. But I think Aurora, you're absolutely right. They picked the right site here to try and get the job done. We'll see if this defense will hold or not. There is a double setup towards the pit, so you've got to be a bit careful about that. 17 seconds left. The flash comes in, and it is a pretty good flashbang, but the time is really the issue. Headshot comes out. Hold on. Wait a minute. The Deagle's still in play. 2 bullets left, and almost getting the spray. Nearly taking WOXIK out, but he gets a triple and gets to stay alive for a little while longer. The bomb planted here. Aurora, they just want to get through Inferno. They do not want to fight FURIA any longer on this map. And Fallen wipes right through. No respect at all. Straight through the smoke. He's just not going to care about it. Calls WOXIK out.
He didn't even have spacing with his teammate. He's just out there. He's completely untradeable there, I think. So, but yeah, that was so sick. I mean, 20 seconds left is actually not too bad, even though it kind of feels definitely scary because they've got rifles and they're against pistols. So in reality, it shouldn't happen. But yeah, that smoke timing was so sick. Whew, from the CTs. Wow, what a defense here. And okay, most players did die. Kept a couple alive here for FURIA, but now they've reset Aurora's loss bonus, so that does at least make things a little easier. But the problem is obviously they're just playing against essentially 2 rounds and it's over. So can FURIA reset this Inferno right here, along with Aurora's economy?
I'm going to go ahead and say I think they can.
I love it. I love to hear it.
I think this 6-11 scoreline is secretly way more dangerous than it seems. How much heartbreak can one team bear? For Aurora to finally make the playoffs, somehow stopped in their tracks by Astralis. And now the question is, can they at least get the 3rd place here? Nice grenade from Fallen. The timing is sick for Aurora, though. They've got the right idea. Fallen running out of bullets. Jakanda trying to get there, but he can't see a thing for the smoke. He's actually lost inside. And Fallen getting no backup in that position now. Aurora are low, but they're going to get the first part of the mission already done. The bomb being planted here. They've stolen the M4. Secretly a dangerous round.
Yeah, Fallen really needed that extra. But on the... Oh, no, that is not good. Not good at all. We do have an HE, a lot of for FURIA, a lot of players that are softened up. Oh no, it's slightly too short.
I think they're in trouble.
I mean, they absolutely are in trouble. They're trying to. I think they might be thinking about how can we back away from this one.
They have to.
Because their economy's going to be wrecked as well. Oh no, WOXIK takes down Kazahstan, Yakinda. Can we survive? WOXIK has got more from the smoke. Oh, disaster here for FURIA. I mean, we talked about economies getting reset. Now theirs has been just set to 0 again as well. Oh no, Ricardius is not going to allow anything into the next round. It's just so fitting it's Ricardia.
It had to be. What a demon he has been on in Inferno. That's another one of these rounds that's kind of hard to explain. I will say this, they caught Fallen at a very awkward timing, but the reset for Fallen was actually just fine. I think the real issue is somehow Yakunda doesn't get through the smoke enough. Like, he never really sees what's happening on the other side. Fallen dies, and Yakunda thinks, all right, I can't give over my life. I have to fall back, but it's such an awkward fight there for the defense, unfortunately. Oh, man. We need 6 in a row for FURIA. I look at it like this. If they make that happen into overtime, it would be...
It would be epic.
It'd be fitting, wouldn't it? The first one's going to be the hardest one, no question. Look at what they have now. There's nothing at all. They're broke.
They are broke. And as much as we're picking up Arcadia, WOXIK is 21-13, so he's topping the scoreboard at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, so it's a very sorry state of affairs on the buy for FURIA. Barely any util.
Yep.
An MP9's the best that they have.
It actually was a very nice grenade landing at the bottom there. Another one. The utility for FURIA. Kind of punishing. Smoke up as well. Fallen hears it, or he sees it. He knows there's someone on the other side there. Random bullets flying through. He's alone right now, so if he dies, that's it. Inferno's probably over.
Yeah. Oh, the gamble. He would have to have a Xantares 5-7 performance against Xantares.
I like that. I like the setup for it. Smoke's going to be going up. He knows.
He's got to use the smoke. He's got to commit to the fight, and he's going to get destroyed instantly. Wicardia is going to farm in mid by the bench. Jumping Yuri to take him out, but a 2v4 retake, and WOXIK's on the case.
He's holding it. Aurora probably can't really lose this one. Bomb's finally planted. It did delay a little bit here. WOXIK, but the kill is plenty enough. Kazahstan, they don't know where he's coming from. Typically, that might make a difference in a, you know, if there was another player alive or if there was more time, but none of those factors are in play here. The Turkish side recovering in a blazing hot fashion from the loss on the opening map of Anubis. Now back into Inferno they go. It's WOXIK with 22, Wicardia with 22, and WOXIK will just outdo it at the end. A 23rd kill. What a performance here from Aurora to get us onto a third map in the series to decide who gets to finish third here at PGL Astana. This is really a match worthy of a third place.
Absolutely, and I think FURIA, they're not going to feel too horrendous about that. They got lots of chances in that first half.
Well, I'm ready to get into this one. A third map to decide it all. How lucky are we, Dan? It's going to be on Dust2 coming up now. It's been a passionate fight, really, for both sides. We have some of the all-time legends of the game here, with Fallen playing still at a high level, but Major, again, his career stretches back so far, and he's still playing absolutely top-level Counter-Strike. We're going to get into it now. FURIA starting on the T side of the Aurora on that CT side to begin with, as we get into Dust2 to decide who gets to finish third here in Astana, and it will be a straight rush to long. Only Major holding here. Flash goes out, and he backs up almost immediately, and that's got to be the smartest move that he could have made.
A responsible flash, a responsible reposition, but Xantares, he knows what his job is. It's to find the headshots. Major now defending the ramp. Can he do so? WOXIK actually through the smoke finds a headshot as well. Some of the variants coming into play here. All these smoke kills, so many smoke headshots. 3 versus 4 now for FURIA. It's so difficult to get onto this plant. They're going to shoot their way out now. There's just so many CTs just straight running with the dualies. Wicardia locks it in for his side. And that's Aurora with the CT pistol secured.
WOXIK with that P2000, there's still not that many players that use it. It's more popular than once was, but he's very good with it. Look at some of the clicks here coming out. No panic, just good work. Yeah, Aurora, very well played.
The dualies, man. Oh, okay. That's one way to bring yourselves back. MongolZ with the scouts. And suddenly, on the CT side, you start off with 4 players. That's kind of terrible. That's terrifying, Anders.
Yeah, that is definitely cause for concern. We'll see how far that stretches. Obviously, it could just be the one-off kill, but if you get another one here, you never really know. Smoke goes down. Centaurus trying to reposition as they push in front of it, but they are so fast here, FURIA. They really are not going to hold back. WOXIK, a bullet to the skull, and he's down. 3 versus 5. The bomb being planted. Major, you've got to be careful if you die as well. That might be the beginning of the end. Oh no, a team kill as well. They're fighting Major. Panic is breaking out in the ranks of FURIA. I mean, they did all peak at the same time, which is kind of cool to see, but unfortunately stood on top of each other there. Centaur is now quick to get the kill on Yuri. Jota not going for the jump here. Instead, getting jumped on. They're right on top of him, and he's already getting tagged up, but it won't make a difference. Between Centaurus and Jota, it's enough for the retake. What a scary round.
MongolZ? Question mark. We'll have to see that one. Again, I think it's exactly as you said.
I don't think it's his fault.
They're all like trying to peek at once. It comes from a good place. It comes from a team trying to swing together.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little dangerous.
No, but this opening, though, right through the wall as well. That's sick. Even with the wall hack, ODDIK couldn't do that.
Oh, no. I feel like the shot looked still onto the CT, but didn't do any damage. But on the bright side, bomb plant, a lot of CT economy damage as well. WOXIK, though, he's been on in this tournament, and hold that thought, Xantares is going to be boosting WOXIK up. And here is the timing with Dark. Beautiful flashbang comes on through. Still a leg onto Fallen, though. And a fadeaway nade for good effect.
This is such an aggressive move. Kind of rare. There's no utility to suggest that he would be here. It's easy to walk into, but there's a peek coming in for potentially from the other side. if Wakadi is the one to peek, then it's in the hands of, well, really nobody. Kazahstan not even looking for it. Nice smoke.
Kazahstan faked the jump to make them think they're going up Xbox so MongolZ could nail someone. That's so sick.
Damn. I love it. That's a sick detail. And they didn't actually bite. They decided to smoke instead. It managed if they would have walked into it. This boost is really cool, but also potentially very dangerous, as you could both get sprayed down from an awkward angle. Incendiary. I don't think that could have been timed any better. Do they have any more nades? No, they don't not out here. But this is a problem. Woxic is in position with the AWP. Free kill almost on Yuri. And Madja's fallen back. They had the sense that he's up close here. It's a deep Molotov. Madja pushing in front and fallen, was already solo from earlier. 5 versus 3, with 30 seconds left. This round is almost already gone. That bomb is out alone right now. MongolZ is going to go pick it up, but where do you go with it? There is no plan here. He can get the kill, but even then, there's 3 more people out on long. Maybe only 2 now that Yakindar's got the kill, but they're just running out of room here, and certainly out of time.
And they're going to be dying. Nothing left. It's a barren wasteland there for them, for FURIA. And that was really well handled by Aurora. There's a lot of, I think, dodged bullets in certain respects where, yeah, you know, they don't fall for the fake jump in mid. Because we saw all these ways where FURIA trying to get MongolZ into a spot where he can get that opening for the team, but falling apart. So FURIA, they're going to have to do a bit more than that to find the opening.
I'm so interested. I feel like the meta on this map has been so well established right now on the T side, but like the desk were talking about, the fact that we don't really know what FURIA are going to bring. I mean, I'm sure they've been studying. Some of it, even though it looks simple, it can be hard to execute in the way that that some of the top teams do it. I will always encourage people to go and watch a couple of Spirit demos on this map, because they just are so good on the T side at manipulating that defense towards mid and catwalk. That's really their bread and butter. Bread and Nutella if you want, man.
There we go. Classic staple of my diet when I was at university. Not anymore.
Yeah, not at university anymore, Dan. We're in a stadium trying to cast Counter-Strike.
Exactly, yeah. Make better choices than me.
Well, you might end up in esports.
Yeah, true.
Smoke into the middle. Okay, so they are setting up for the B-split. Probably fairly well telegraphed at the moment. We'll see what happens to the defense when this smoke lands for Yuri. Actually, Centaurus has kind of backed off a little bit now. Whenever there's like this double B defense, all it takes is 1 kill. So for the T's to run in, 1 running headshot, and you can get the bomb plant at the minimum, maybe even win the round. Incendiary timing is pretty damn good. They're trying to push in front of it here, Wakadia. This is risky.
It's that guy again. Oh, he's getting found out though. A few bullets through the smoke make him nervous, and that forces the errors. Yakindo with the kills too. And right now the CT's locked out the site. Yuri.
That's it.
Tech 9 holding down the CT spawn, and that's a wrap.
1 kill.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
And on Dust2, it's so funny how often it can be the case that it's the pistols where, you know, these full gun rounds can look so hopeless. And it's part and parcel, because at the CTs, there are some fundamentals you kind of have to respect where you do want to give certain space because it's pretty high variance. Let's say if you play super close around the mid doors, it only kind of makes sense if you have a perfect read as the CTs. But if the T's have done a good job in preventing that from happening, it feels risky, so you void those spots, but then there's all this space, so they can get closer, and so then all they need to do is get that 1 kill, and that's exactly what we saw here. So it's hard to really criticize Aurora too heavily there. It's just part of the game.
It happens all the time. You're not wrong. I mean, this is the reason why it's also easy to read before it happens, because it is such a common occurrence.
Yeah. And it's why a lot of CT sides, you see the meta being that they'll take lower dark really fast, because that way they can peel off a couple of players, create some disruption before falling back. It's a good way to handle that.
The crowd is chanting FURIA. They are on their side right now. Nice shot from MongolZ. It's Woxic. He wanted the challenge. He wanted a bit of heat in the middle, but it was more than he could handle. We need more out of MongolZ right now. The crowd absolutely are ready to chant his name. They just need a bit of prompting, a bit of incentive, and they're going to be good for it. MIBR has pushed in front of the smoke, which is a nice trick. It's a bit of a mind game, but you could tell on the other side that Yuri is not really buying it. But it's a common way to do it. You throw the smoke, and then you're already in front of it by the time you throw it.
Now Wicardia, he's got that AWP. It's a risky game.
I mean, this is another one-kill round. If they find Jota here on the side, that's it. I don't even think there's going to be a rotation from Aurora if that happens. So risky. Keep reloading as they try and push through. Deep grenades coming through. It's all about this. MIBR, he goes down on long, but that is not the pivotal point here. Look at how low he is. But he finds the kill. They are still got 50 seconds. I'm surprised to see that they are slowing it down, but it might still work out.
And the cap push, it could be the big difference maker. Xantares activated into the round, looking for the kill. Excellent micro correction there. Effortless as always, and it's a recommit. It has to be into that B site. However, Wicardia is close, although locked out with the AWP for now. Only 2 positions to get an angle. It's the window or it's the doors once the smoke clears. And right now the economy is terrible for Aurora, so they're going to back away with the AK and with the AWP. They're going to give it. FURIA will pick up this round.
That kill for Fallen.
It's wild, isn't it? One more bullet.
It's more or less the same story. Even if the setup here was different on the defensive side, it's a very, very similar vibe. One opening and the whole thing kind of comes apart. It is helped by the fact that Jota spends almost all 30 bullets spraying through the smoke. Then he's reloading. Even if the reload is finished by the time they get through, it still means he's in a bit of an uncomfortable position. Like, you can see that fight starts with him slightly off balance, and it is a bit awkward. FURIA, very important rounds early on Dust2 here.
Crowd lending their energy as we go into the next round to FURIA.
I'm kind of blown away that we've come all this way and we're hearing Astralis chants, we're hearing FURIA chants. I mean, shout out to the crowd in Kazahstan.
True fans of Counter-Strike.
Yes. It's kind of a rare thing. Like, sometimes it's just about, you know, a home team here, but they've been spreading the love really broadly. I love it. Wicardia catching Akin at the worst possible time. Grenade in hand. MongolZ looking to get back. Okay. That is a fast shot coming out from Xantares. He didn't need any more visibility. 3 versus 5 here. And like you already said, they don't have a lot to work with, but what they have, they are putting to hard work. Fallen and Yuri, and it's going to be an easy kill here as Jota just eventually negotiates that one. Yuri alone.
What's happening? It's just donating all the weapons. Like, they're just doing a drop off at Salvation Army. It's like, here you go, guys. Just
yeah, they are. You know, that is kind of the huge downside, because it's not enough to just have the AKs on the ground. You have to have CTs alive to pick them up, and right now Aurora definitely do. The bomb is, by the way, on the other side, so Yuri's just looking to save this gun. They're going to find everything here, Aurora. They should be able to. You see, MIBR is slowly walking down the middle, eventually going to go into upper dark, I think. It's an AWP, all right. Now we just need Jota.
On the plus side for FURIA, at the very least, their economy is intact, because the last round was won cleanly enough. But we're looking for the hunt as well.
Yeah,
Fury surviving, though. I don't think they're going to get to him now.
I really don't think they should. They have double up 3 AKs. I think we sometimes call this, you know, the full house.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why would you want to risk anything? I don't think it's worth it at all.
Aces for the Kings.
Exactly.
For Aurora. Oh, Kings full of aces. I always mix it up.
Yeah, listen, I'm not really a card player myself, Dan, so whatever you say, I'll trust. I'll believe it. I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Just got to commit to the lie. That's the trick.
Nice.
Okay.
Well,
bit of a stumble, to be honest, in this round.
And it might just be the fact that, I mean, it's a great peak from Xantares and great kills from Wicardia, but it definitely feels like maybe the expectation of Wicardia being there with the orb was just not there, because otherwise you don't like hold those angles necessarily the same. But might be the hindsight casting there for me. Either way, back into it we go. Full buy for FURIA, inclusive of MongolZ on the orb. And he is over towards... He's got actually the bomb in his back right now. And we're over towards B Dark.
Double orb is obviously a really powerful thing on Dust2. See what kind of luxuries it will allow for them. Woxic out on long here. Easy shot on the Yuri. The grenade being thrown probably giving him an indication that, oh, now's the time to push. You know, I've got the timing down perfect, but Orb was waiting for him. Smoke goes off with a split. There is still two people at the site. You just can't see it on the minimap because they're right on top of each other nearly. Wakardia going to be taking a shot against Jakinda. And Jota, easy shut down. That's the kind of hold that they're dreaming of. MongolZ hoping to do something with the AK. It's actually the case. Wait a minute. He jumped. He hit the shot while he was airborne. No. MongolZ now with 40 seconds. That's an accidental, like, the mouse scroll jump, and he still somehow landed it. I wish we could see the replay of that.
Yeah.
All right, then. Bad news for FURIA. The money is not going to be sustainable for them here. I think Aurora are gaining a lot of momentum, and the fact is, they're on the CT side. It's typically a lot harder to actually get rounds on the CT side of Dust2 here, so I am getting a bit worried right now for FURIA. I think they've potentially dug a bit of a grave for themselves.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that we haven't seen cat defaults at all from them so far. That's something that I think is so typical on a T side that most teams have in the bag.
Right.
It's something, as you pointed out when we watched Spirit have like a super high level version of that, and you know, it's not insane to expect teams to have the fundamentals down as to how to play that, but
I agree.
Might be just a straight cat for the short plant. It's such a typical round here. The space has been given by Aurora. They just have to hit the shots as FURIA enter.
Now, will they run or run boost? All right. Flashed in. Run boost, some more fun. Almost never work. Woxic, couple of shots ring out. He finds a third, and yeah, it's just a shooting gallery right now. He's having a fantastic time of it. He's never really exposed to any real risk there. Kazahstan eventually going to get hunted down. They'll lose Centaurus, and that's it. 6-2.
Yeah, those are the shots that feel really fun because, like you say, you are completely safe if you miss, whereas the ones that are like extra fun for us to watch is when the Orpus have so much pressure that if they do miss, they die. And so, yeah, the level of comfort there is certainly a worrying sign for FURIA that they are unable to get that extra pressure on, but it was just an eco. They're back on the bind now. MongolZ on the AWP, of course, and we'll see if there is a switch up. We do have more players towards long on the opening here, blocking off the molly there with the smoke, trying to get out into this position. Jota flashed. He has been pretty good this Dust2 so far, but Yuri's out.
Yeah, taken down one, but he couldn't really get anything done, unfortunately. Nice shot through the smoke. Will they check for Jota? He's in the pit. It could be overlooked. You've already taken 2 fights at long. You just might not expect for there to be a third player in the pit. It doesn't look like anyone on FURIA right now is even considering that. And even if he doesn't get a kill, Jota, just having the information that they're going to fall back is still pretty valuable. But 4 versus 3, one of the better opportunities here for FURIA to get something done. MongolZ is holding the corner, but...
Oh, and he just hears the running straight away.
Yeah, but the problem is MongolZ still might not be leaving the chair. He's not even looking for this one. Goes down. Jota's position, so powerful. And now Aurora are back in the round, 3 versus 3. They've got the health advantage. Even if the rotation is happening here for FURIA, it's such a long one through T-spawn.
And the smoke on the doors there to kind of essentially prevent the CTs from knowing which side they're going. And there's just one here on B, but it's Ricardi with this all being teased. And he is not going to like that tease. Let's destroy Yakinda. In the back though, Kazahstan finds the timing. Can he find the long-range spray? It's not to be. Jota gets it instead. And there's a chance, a couple of chances there for FURIA, but indeed Jota's deep position down the pit in a long. That was the masterstroke. The edge, the hidden edge.
I need a replay of Madja flying his finger into Wakardia's finger. That was a very... It's a new tech that I have not personally seen before. Yeah, this is great. Wakardia actually can be a very powerful secondary AWPer. So, seen it before. Look at this. Yes. more finger bumps. 7-2. I think they're enjoying themselves way too much, and to be honest, why would they not? I think it's a total of 15 kills right now on the FURIA side, and if you look at what's happening on Aurora here, they're doing an awesome amount of work. 7 rounds on the CT side of Dust2 is a very, very good indication that they are running away with this here. And I think for FURIA, as well, you think about the rounds they got, it's the single opening kill on B. That has been the only thing that has been working for them, and that's hard to replicate. You can't just keep going back to that. Eventually, Aurora are going to be able to adjust, and they have been.
Yeah, 37 for them across the board. Kills, that is.
That's some quick counting, Dan. Damn.
Quick maths.
That's more than... once we get past 10, I tend to give up.
Need more fingers.
I say that all the time. In different context. Anyway, enough about that. It's up to round number 10, Dan. Things have come off the rails, unfortunately, for FURIA.
Yeah.
How do they get them back here? I think even if they get 5, I would still be very worried for them going into the second half.
There is maybe a nice shot here, though, because Aurora are playing very passive. They're gambling a little bit in the sense that they're going to allow a cat play to come. And there are nades. So FURIA, if they have a setup here, they might be in a good spot. They're owning against 2. They have the right flashes and smokes here to stop Woxic getting shots. Okay, we're playing retake here. We're playing retake for Aurora. They're just going to hold onto the long position. They're going to give up the short plant. But that said, the bomb has not made its way into the site just yet. It's holding, it's pausing, it's freezing. And Falling gets a pick down below.
It's very curious. You're absolutely right. There was such a delayed plant here. They're finally going to go for it. Jakindar goes down to Santaris, and the retake is back on again. Deep flash running across his Manager. Low on health here. Some of FURIA members. Nice shot. It's actually Woxic from a range. Oh, he nearly gets it through the box, but you can shoot through. Santaris goes down, and now just 2 people left. They're trying to get into the retake here, but Wakadia against 3. He gets the first one on Molodoi. Jumps up to look for it, but Fallen catching him below. Quad kill on the captain of FURIA, right as they're about to get completely wiped out in the first half. A little bit of balance, trying to get it back in, certainly getting the crowd on their side, but they need more rounds. They need all the rest here. Yeah,
and I feel like, again, similar to Inferno, they were fortunate there because Aurora, for them, they're like, hang on, you guys don't have answers of your T strats. We can actually just play passive and gamble a bit. And this time, the setup gamble didn't go their way. They were forced to have just 2 on the A side, so they're forced to play A retake from long. They can't really fight that reasonably. Got to respect the 5 T's up cat. And then that's the way that FURIA get into that spot. Typically, a T side will earn that through a good default for that solid kind of like push and pull with a nice cat play like we've seen Spirit do. So that's what I think we still need to see from FURIA so that they can get more consistency here into this half.
Great work. But yeah, I think the consistency term is brought up a lot, but I think that is exactly what is the problem here for FURIA. The lack of consistency also means that Aurora have more money all the time. They can buy, they can keep it going. It's always tricky. There always another double AWP setup here. Oh, ouch. But it's okay. They give something in return at least. Default spread for Aurora. The defense not really sure what's going to be coming next.
Oh, Wakadia is just ready and waiting. Indeed, a great secondary AWPer. Such a luxury on Dust2.
He's been great for the entire match. 11-4. He was actually a demon on Inferno. Smoke up here. They do have a smoke on the other side towards B as well, so trying to create a bit of a pocket to play in. Jakindar, here's the flashbang. He must know. Trying to punish Jota, but he's a second too late, and he lets him get away. That would have been a sick opening, but there is a secondary opportunity here. Kazahstan in middle. If he could find the kill. So Wakadia up in the window. Oh, the boost on over. He's actually at a bit of danger here. He hears the step. Oh, and that distracts him. It was the noise on the other side. Wakadia, why is he even checking that to begin with? 40 seconds now as they stream onto the bomb side. And a sick 180. Jakindar, how does he get away with it? Maja and Woxic now locked out of the bomb site. That should have never been possible.
Yuri ready to finish the deal. Maja can't do anything from this position. It's just going to upgrade to an AK. He's given it up. That spin from Jakindar, the entry magic once again being found by him that we've seen from this tournament out of him time and again. I think this feels like a Jakindar renaissance in that respect. That's crazy.
I hope it is the beginning of that, because his career trajectory, it was such a tragedy when he went over to play international Counter-Strike, and it just became like a shadow of his former self, had to try and take over a lot of more of a leadership kind of role. It just wasn't fun to watch. It just wasn't Yakindar, it wasn't him anymore.
Yeah.
This is much more it. I don't know how you win that fight. All right, Lucadia sees out of the corner of his eye. Just, oh.
That's so sick.
Oh, that's
so sick. Wow. All right, Furious, they still got the energy in it for this one. MongolZ doesn't land anything there, but actually, Xantares makes his way up mid. They don't know about this. Do they realize? Fallen might seem to be looking for it. They've got a sense. Fallen now spots it. Oh, the spray so insanely good there. The control from Xantares. And they're going to fall back with a kill in the bag. And that's going to put FURIA once again in the disadvantage early.
It's one thing to control the spray with the AK in general, but while you're crouching back and forth, what an absurd fight to take. Look at Long, though. Yakindar's actually moving for it. It's Kazahstan to go down here. If they can find an opening, that the bomb is being brought in as well. Yakindar shooting Major in the back. He's a real nuisance, trying with all his might to get FURIA back into the game. They need 5. They absolutely do. The bomb's been slowed down, and for good reason. MongolZ there to catch Woxic one step ahead. These kind of slowdowns have betrayed FURIA in the past in this game, but now it seems to be working out. MongolZ creeping closer. 3v3. The bomb is being planted, but Yakindar is far away.
Yakindar's basically not on this round. Jota's going to go straight in. It has to be the players on the sides. Yakindar's so far away, isolated on an island. He's never going to get there in time. And now he has to re-entry against 3 players. And it just is not looking possible. This is the final round. He has to find something here. 20 seconds. They know precisely where he is. Xantares is staring up, ready and waiting to receive. But it's Vicadia from the back. And that's an 8-4 finish at the end of the first half. This is map 3. Fighting for 3rd place here at PGL Astana, and it looks like Aurora are rectifying the situation.
Great recovery from them. I think, to be honest, even the recovery from losing in the semi-final was already going to be a mental challenge to Aurora. But Major has shown up today with incredible focus in his own game, but obviously pulling the entire team with him. It's leadership that's so hard to find in Counter-Strike. It really is.
Yeah.
That in itself is super, super cool. By the way, Yakindar obviously not misplaying that last round, right? He was supposed to be the late flank with the bomb going down, and it just never happened, so fair play.
They also did a really cool detail there as well, where they got the entries on both sides of the map, but the bomb hadn't been spotted, and there was a 3rd player. And then they paused, and so it created this like situation where the CTs actually don't know where the bomb is going, which side it's going to. So there's a lot of like interesting stuff, and then MongolZ gets the pick on one of the CTs who's trying to find that information, and that's the punish that they earned in that scenario. But again, it's still a very hard round. It's a 2v3 on the site. So I mean, it was a rough one from start to finish, and it didn't feel like the T side strats were really there fully for FURIA, but on the CT side, that could all change.
Look at this. All 5 in the middle. They're pushing into upper and lower. They've given up on the A side. They do not care. They've got the smoke and the kit for the retake. MongolZ gets the first one on the dualies. Not a bad start. Yakindar pushing in and executes a couple of them, but they have not found the bomb. So if they do a little bit of research here, a little bit of an investigation, they're going to be worried about that, saying that's curious. Don't know if they have the bomb sniffing dogs out, but there's no C4 in the area. Smoke for the cross. And this round just became dangerous again. There is unfortunately not a P250 on anyone here, but Major with the Glock close range, Yuri instantly punishing that one. It's all on Wakadia. 13 and 5 and in a 1 versus 3.
The Glock and the smoke is about to fade, I believe, so using the last bit to cover as he makes his way back towards the site. Can he get a kill here? Reset. 3 players, they're so close now, and it's running out of bullets. Kazahstan runs him down with the dualies. FURIA win the much-needed CT pistol. And again, you don't have to have the best T side if you can lock down the second half. And we know that they've got some orb skills. We know that FURIA have the ability. So we just have to see it here on the CT side.
I mean, if they can build a comeback off the back of Fallen now doing secondary orping, which is a weird thing to say out loud. But, I mean, obviously that could be very powerful. Aurora with the bomb plant. It's a 2v4 bomb plant, right? So it's a pretty nice position to be in that you can actually buy into this round. Mac 10s on a bunch of them. There is helmets on everyone except MongolZ. Really, really important bit of information here, because without the head armor, this could be a way more dangerous round. It still is dangerous, but yeah, if they all had just body armor, I would have been so scared.
I think one of the reasons why you see the meta where we have such a big clearance of a lower dark here for the Ts is because, again, CTs like to start in lower dark sometimes themselves, and this would be a great way to counter that. So now that's been dealt with, they can think, okay, more of a passive setup. What are possibilities still? Well, Catwalk still has to be dealt with.
There's only one smoke, so they can't go for this deep trickery where you're pretending to do all kinds of things. Once they throw the smoke, that's it. They've got to place something behind it. And out the middle, a bunch of people are ready to go. Smoke kind of failed there. I think that's meant to block off more. They're running right through. Huge calamity on the B bomb side. They're in trouble, and you can tell. Fallen going down at the back of the site. Yakindar traded out. Mac 10 powers on through onto Major. I think the failed smoke and the fact you can, because they think it's such a wall in there that they're going to buy at least 10 seconds before they have to worry about middle again. Just blows up in their faces. Yeah.
And it's really difficult because, well, hold that thought. Let's see if they can hold into these rifles. Like, it looks like that might be the case for now. But yeah, it's really hard because one thing that you could say, oh, this would be really perfect, is if they could just go up mid. But the reason why you don't really want to do that is also because Woxic is probably looking for that, or could very well be looking for that, just to spot the info. Because that allows Aurora to be safe against mid aggressions as they come out of the lower dark. So as long as those, T's are crossed and I's are dotted for the T side, it doesn't leave you with many aggressive options on the CT side. And so then you find yourself in this spot. We saw FURIA do it to Aurora, but this really couldn't be a worse time for FURIA.
Yeah, they are deep in the hole right now, unfortunately. The fact that they've managed to take the fight this hard to Aurora is in itself kind of a story. It is so cool to see. But right now on this third map, the map pool probably just not deep enough. We all knew. The panelists were talking, oh my God. Okay, listen, if you're going to bring it back, then do it like this. Scout headshot onto Woxic to begin with. That'll send a message. We need the crowd on their side. I haven't heard enough MongolZ chants today. Maybe he could do that. Maybe he could will them into his direction. They're pushing into the Deagle of Yakindar. It's a little bit further away, but he actually has the Deagle and the HE. So this could be fireworks, Dan.
We'll see what he can find. Misses the first shot, but he spotted the push. Needs to try to find a delay, though, for his teammates. And that smoke should help that. MongolZ from below with the scout. Can't get much more awkward than that. Xantares understands what the smoke means and deals with that quickly. Bomb goes down. Not the most amazing weapons ever, the M4s and MP9. Still feels like there could be a chance here as FURIA start to close the distance again.
Yeah, Yuri's out long. He really wants to find somebody to fight. It hasn't really been doable yet. MongolZ finding another kill. Yuri, he does have a kit as well. They still have a little bit of time, but they will lose MongolZ. And I think, unfortunately, that creates too much pressure for Yuri to really get back into this retake. You could hear that bomb is already really far ticked. As long as MongolZ was alive, he had a chance to basically play around MongolZ and try to find the kills, but as soon as he dies, he knows they don't have to fight him. They can just chill out and wait for the round 10. Aurora now just 3 away from landing that third place here in Astana.
So close. And FURIA, can we get some extra, something hidden? I mean, this is maybe some of that good stuff that we're looking for. Forward to seeing more of from FURIA to get them back into it. Aurora, they've got Woxic on the AWP now. Everything's on board. Jota with the Mac 10 means that he can be the perfect entry machine. And they can just trade off of him. Xantares can be right behind. Flash through to long. So he might just try to scale long here. Keep it simple. They spotted the mid push though.
Yeah, good information. Ricardia, I would say, taking maybe more of a risk than you would need to here. He does have an AK. I don't really mind him doing this with the Mac 10. I think that's probably going to be fine, but I think this is, yeah, too much for my taste. He's going to be alive for now. Does get dinked, takes the fight to MongolZ, and will give over the AK. They're still probably going to win this round. Definitely should.
He's trying to get the gun.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, that was what he was looking for. MongolZ has picked up the AK after the USP kill. Looks like he'll hold on to it. They are finding things. It's just not quite enough yet.
It isn't.
It's very tough.
The buy round that's coming up here for FURIA, it just has to be so spectacular. It basically has to be a brand new team from one round to the next. That's asking a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Okay, there's that favorite M4. All right, so AK from MongolZ. And FURIA, we'll have to see how they open the rounds. When you are on the receiving ends of a situation like this, I feel like it does encourage the CT side to respond in the next round by starting at least 3 on the long, for the long defense. You know, get the flashes going to make sure you can get players scaled so that you can defend against an outright assault there. Because now Aurora have shown that if they get the spawns, they want to do it.
Yeah. All right. There's no AWP picked up either on FURIA. I was kind of hoping that we could see something like that early on here, but that wasn't going to be the case. A little bit late for that one. Incendiary to slow down in case there was a push. They would have been somewhat prepared for it. Otherwise, defensively looks pretty vanilla here for FURIA.
Yeah. 3 helping long. In fact, normally one of the options you see is then you get 2 like on cat, so you have a forward position on cat, but actually redoubling down on the long setup, leaving just MongolZ on the AK alone on the A sites. But Aurora, they're just going to go straight to B.
Yeah. They're going to try and abuse the same thing that was used against them, which is the fact that you just need 1 kill here to set it up. Fallen, jiggling away. The timing is everything. If he gets it wrong, he is going to get shot in the face with an AK on the other side. It's just a matter of timing here. There we go. Jota catches him at the perfect opportunity, and Yakenda knows he's in so much trouble. Down to 8 bullets. He cannot find a single kill to hold on to the round. And to be honest, even if he had found 2 kills, I don't think it's enough to win it. So tough position to be in there. I bet if we rewatch that from Fallen or from Jota's point of view, what we're going to see is that there is this weird timing. It's sort of like it's like the metronome timing, where it's like if you hit it just slightly wrong, all that's happening is you're peeking into the AK with a smoke in your hand, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so tough. But yeah, you can certainly see, well, you can see MongolZ killing Ricardia.
Gun barrel.
I mean, if they can kill Woxic and pick up that orb, that is something. There we go, that's an orb. They'll know it. Now 2 players coming in from long, from Aurora. They're absolutely going to want to try to find these fights, but the orb has been picked up. This is actually pretty nice for FURIA. They're playing with their backs against the wall. Yeah. 7 rounds in a row is what they have to get, and now they're finally getting their first orb on the CG side, essentially.
It's got to start somewhere. The comeback is as unlikely as it. Yeah, there we go. It's such an unlikely comeback here. It's hard to even explain how far behind they are. 12-5, but all of the momentum here is with Aurora. Let's see. They just need another round. They fought real hard to get here. They summoned all the strength to battle Fallen and his troops, and they're up long with the spawn. They've already smoked the corner. Jakanda up against Ricardia. That's an easy fight, and Jury will find the kill. Boosted on the other side, I think. So a couple of great kills to begin with. That's what you like to see. 5 on 3, and Yuri's in front of the smoke. Antares, he was not at all ready to take the fight at that range. So just Madger down in the pit with the AWP. Don't peek him one at a time. All right, Yakinda will fight him. I don't know if it's advisable, but it is a cracked out headshot.
Yes, and I like that round. We saw the mid push coming in from 2 players for FURIA in that instance. So they got aggressive basically everywhere, and they managed to find a few kills. So keeping the AWP alive as well is good to see. But still much more has to be done, of course. We've gone from 7 rounds in a row to 6 that's now required for the overtime. And
this is how it starts.
Aurora, are they going to send it into B just straight up?
Why not? I actually love it. finish with a B rush. Do it for the memes, do it for the history. Aurora looking to see if they could overcome the crack falling at the start of it, and Yakunda trapped in the corner. The backup is too far away here. Aurora are slowed down a little bit, but somebody has to help out Yakunda. It's not going to be in time, but Kazahstan, he finds through two right for the smoke. This Wakadia, he's lost all the teammates. 17 kills, make it 18 with 7 bullets left. He swings, looking to see if he can humble MongolZ. Just one tap there with the AK. He's getting a chance for a reload now, and MongolZ, he's got to be shaking in the bomb site. Don't want to lose it like this, but the hunt is on, and it's Wakadia to pick it up and landing them in the 3rd position. Aurora, the high point of Turkish Counter-Strike. It's been built for such a long time, all the way back from the Space Soldiers days in CSGO. Turkish Counter-Strike was hardly a factor at all, but